and welcome to F1 Tonight UK Season 1 Round 13. And we are in Spa Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. And joining me in the commentary box this evening is Dan Huzzah. Burt, good evening, Dan.
Huzzah! Good evening, mate. Thank you for the warm welcome. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to this race. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if you caught the F1 Tonight NL guys on Thursday night here at Spa. They had a bit of a mixed old bag, didn't they? And with the rain as well, it didn't... It was interesting. Let's put it like that.
Good race. Very nice.
Yeah, it was
exciting
a good race.
To watch. Really good. That ending was spectacular.
It was. Yeah. I thought, oh come on, somebody's got to get it. Somebody's got to get it.
Yeah.
All on fresh softs, but anyway.
Yeah. We
digress, and we're having a look here at the championship standings. Let's have a look at where we are. Well, leading the way, Dylan Platt on 220 championship points. Second, Tom Stevens. He said last week he's gunning for that championship win, so this is one where he's going to have to pull out all the stops. In third, Sean Gregory for Toro Rosso. Then we have Callum White for Mercedes in fourth. Fifth is Phil Harris. He won't be with us, unfortunately, this evening in the Williams. Then we have 6, Ross Milburn. 7, Ryan Lear. 8, Gary McKenny. 9, Jake Sorrell. 10, Adrian Rich. And then in 11, Tony Foster. 12 is Sean Street. 13 is Jamie Good. So both racing points side by side there. Callum Widdowson is in 14. Sorry, Cameron Widdowson. I keep saying Callum. I don't know why. Josh Diggles, your former teammate in the Haas, is in 15. 16 is Jack Wilson in the Williams. 17, Ryan Grice. He won't be racing with us either this evening. Then we have Matt Goodyear in the Haas and 2 new drivers for Renault. And they are Connor Hughes, who's currently sitting in 19. Doesn't really make any difference which way round they are. It's Connor Hughes, new driver, and also Kyle Jackson. So we've got the KK twins, haven't we? It's Jack.
Very good. I was thinking, who's those gang twins? I was just thinking of those, but I couldn't think of their names.
It could be Car Jack, couldn't it?
It could be.
Let's not advertise that. Let's not advertise that one too much.
There we go. It's the Cray twins.
It is. It's the Cray twins. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, so, I mean, this championship is looking interesting. I mean, Dylan Platt obviously still way ahead. I mean, Tom Stevens, he said last week on that podium interview after taking the win that he's gunning for that. But he's got his work cut out for him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to have to not necessarily put out races like it. I mean, last week was just it was a show, wasn't it? He was saying, listen, hey, this is what I can do. I'm going to show you it every single lap of this race. And he pulled out, almost a 1 minute, 30-second lead.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to have to push like that for the rest of the season now. Maybe not in quite such a dominant way. He's not got to lead by 1 minute 30. But he's got to race his heart out if he wants to close that gap up.
Yeah, definitely.
Towards the end of the season. So it's going to be very exciting as we progress.
73 points, potentially 3 podium wins he needs minimum, and Dylan Platt not to be placing in that top 3 either on the podium.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's only 7 points. He's going to close down on him if it's a 1-2.
Yeah.
Every race until the end. So he's got his work cut out.
He definitely has. I mean, it's still tight, even sort of down there. I mean, Sean Gregory, 130. Yeah. Callum White, 114. Phil Harris, 112. Okay, he's not racing tonight. Then you got from 6 down, 78 Ross Milburn, 75 Ryan Lear, 72 Gary McKenny. And then towards the back there, sort of in the midfield, you've got Jake Sorrell, 45. Adrian Rich, 45. Tony Foster, 44. So it's tight all the way through the groupings, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just looking through it, we've got a number of drivers tonight that are going to be fighting each other for those positions they've got. Gary and Ryan, they're going to be looking to maybe exchange their positions. Jake Sorrell, Adrian Rich, going to be the same. The 2 Force Indias, they had a good performance last week, managed to jump up in the constructors, I believe. Which we'll see in a bit. So they're going to be fighting. Cameron Widdowson there as well. He can get in the mix. So there's so many positions that we could see jumbled up
Yeah, and this is a track that sorts the men out from the boys, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely does.
Okay, so that's the championship. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship as it stands. So leading the way, unsurprisingly, Alfa Romeo on 295. Mercedes are in the second there, 261. Then we have Toro Rosso, third on 208. Fourth are Rocket Williams on 122. Then we have McLaren, fifth on 92. So they've overtaken Ferrari, who are now on 89 and in P6. Then we have Racing Point, who have overtaken Red Bull. They're in seventh there with 52. 8 are Red Bull with 47. 9 are Haas with 31. And obviously the Renault team there, 20 points from obviously their previous drivers that they've had this season. Obviously, we can see it reflected. But, the Constructors' Championship, yeah, it's looking pretty much like it's going to be Alfa, Mercedes and Toro Rosso. But I think Rocket Williams can probably make a good challenge. And I think McLaren are going to probably hold that fifth, I would have thought, or maybe progress. Let's see what Gary McKenny and obviously his new teammate, Cameron Widdowson, can do, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari is still very much in that fight, I hope, for with McLaren there being quite close in the points. And you can see as well how much Mercedes have managed to gain on Alfa Romeo after Hungary last week. Yeah. Only 30 points. Or just over 34 points now separate them. So there's a fight to be had there as well, which will be good. And then the bottom end of the constructors, you can see there from 10th up to 7th again, all really close. So it's really good stuff.
Yeah, definitely very, very close indeed. Let's have a look at the track itself then. So this iconic Spa Francorchamps track here at Stavelot in Belgium. 19 corners, and let's have a look at the race distance, because this is, I believe it is the longest actual circuit, is 4.352 miles. Total race length, as per normal, around about 191.2, so that's 191.414, and 44 laps, obviously 44 laps, a reflection of the circuit length. It is a long track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long one. Personally, as a driver, I'm not a massive fan, or at least I wasn't. I'm coming around a little bit. Spectating it, fantastic. But driving it, it's one of those ones where it feels a bit long sometimes.
Yeah, it's challenging though. I must admit, it's
absolutely.
Each sector has its own nuances, really. And actually, saying that, let's have a look. We'll run through obviously the corners as we go through. So start-finish line, turn 1, you got La Source. That leads you down. That's that hairpin first corner, which is going to catch out people certainly on the start. But a great overtaking opportunity there, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah. It's the start is one of the sort of the most exciting parts of the race in some cases, as we've seen in real life F1 with the carnage you can get at turn 1. But the Source is going to be an exciting part of the race tonight, I think, and hopefully we'll see. The likes, some of our well-known climber-uppers in the grid, Josh Diggles, Sean Gregory, the likes of those will make some moves into turn 1, I'm sure. So, it's going to be...
I'm sure we're going to see some aggressive driving in that turn 1. Then that leads us downhill to the Eau Rouge Radion turns, which is 2, 3 Eau Rouge, and then uphill for Radion. Yeah, I mean, you got to hope for dry conditions so you can keep your foot down, really. But it is scary as hell. Even sim driving, it's a scary set of corners, especially 3, 4.
Yeah, I think it might just be me, but even I don't keep it flat through Eau Rouge. I can't. Yeah. I have to lift a little bit just to stop the car from losing the back end and getting a bit of a wiggle. But
that's where we can see the guys losing it, especially as they're coming out of 3 into 4. Watch that, because they can end up in the right-hand side there. Then we've got the Kemmel Straight, and at the end of the Kemmel Straight, that's the end of Sector 1, and that's the start of Sector 2. Then we've got the Lecombe turns, 5, 6, 7, coming downhill out of 7 towards that wonderful, long right-hander, almost hairpin of Brussels, which you either love it or you hate it. If you get it right, you love it. If you don't, you hate it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly as you say it. You have to get those gear shifts just right, brake right at the perfect point, and get the car hugging the inside line. Otherwise, it's just continuously pushing up wide the way the corner's shaped. Yeah,
and you've got to come up. Watch your exit L8. Make sure you come out to the left-hand side in preparation for that left-hander turn 9. Then you come down to turn 10, Pouhon, into turn 11. That's a tricky one again. you know, there are those that venture it if they've got enough downforce at full pelt, but I've got to be honest, I tend to knock it down a gear just to give me that extra grip and launch out of 10.
Same for me.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Then you come down to 12, the right-hander, 13 campus, drop down to turn 14. And we were discussing this earlier before the stream. If you can get that exit out of 14 right as you come into Stavlot, your sector 3 just is awesome, isn't it? Because you're just building up speed and power all the way through, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like a rocket. Get a good run out of 14, like you say, and you're just launched into these kind of winding set of corners there before you come up to the chicane at the end. It's very, 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 very a fun part of the track.
Yeah. Obviously, as you come out of turn 14 and then into Stavlot, you're into the third and final sector. Round Coubry, Paul Frey, into then 17, Blanchimont. Again, I mean, that is one where I would tend to knock it down a gear as well, just to give you that extra sort of control and grip out of there. And then that brings you down to the pit stop chicane of 18, 19, the final corners. And that can be quite hairy as well, can't it, Dan?
Yeah, really. Those two corners are tougher than they look, actually, just to get it right through 18, set up well for 19, so you get that nice turn launch onto the pit straight, just to complete your lap, or even in the race, just to get a good exit onto the cars in front.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 DRS points. The first DRS detection point is as you're coming downhill towards Eau Rouge 2-3. Then that activates on the Kemmel Straight, bringing you down into the start of the second sector, Le Courbe. And then the second DRS detection point is just before you get into turn 18 of the bus stop, and that activates on the exit of 19 down towards turn 1, La Source. Actually, these are 2 DRS points that I actually quite love as DRS goes, because they do what DRS is supposed to do and give you that extra action and overtaking possibilities. Again, especially on that second DRS, coming down the start finish straight into turn 1, isn't it?
Yeah. There's some DRS points that actually make the track. They're necessary, if you like, especially on that long back straight. You want to just close up to the car in front. It's so crucial to get that DRS down towards 2 and then activate it on the Kemmel Straight, like you say, and just try and close up to the guys in front. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we're done on that now, so I'm just going to transition across, and while I do that and get ready, if you could just run through the runners and riders for us for this evening, Dan.
Absolutely, of course. So tonight, guys, well, at the moment, qualifying 1's underway. 10 minutes to go for now, and could we say it's a standard thing at the moment, seeing the Mercedes boys up the top? Tom Stevens there with a 1:43.7, already looking like he might eclipse the field a little bit at the moment. 5 tenths clear of his teammate Callum White in second place, the second Mercedes there. Ross Milburn joins us again tonight, so that's good to have him back with us on track. He's a quick driver, so we're looking to see him in the mix with the top runners today. He's third place at the moment. Matt Goodyear in fourth place, one of the new guys as well. Just out driving his teammate at the moment, 2 tenths to him behind fifth place, Josh Diggles. Gary McKenny in sixth, the McLaren, one of his favourite spots by the looks of it so far this season. Sixth place is where he finds himself quite often, so that is good to see him there as well. Dylan Platt, seventh at the moment, but I'm sure that's probably because he's on the hard tyre, or some tyre that's much harder than the rest. Yep, hard tyre, as I suspected. His teammate Ryan Lear behind him in eighth. Sean Street, ninth place with a 1:45.3, so towards the back end of the timers at the moment, but still close with the other guys. Then we've got Tony Foster in the Ferrari, competing in the top 10 for now. Cameron Widdowson, new to the McLaren team for tonight. Lacking a bit behind his teammate at the moment, but it's the beginning of the qualifying, so I'm sure he's just finding his feet in the new car as well at the moment at 11th place. Adrian Rich, still to set a time, he's 12th, with Sean Gregory in the Toro Rosso behind him, 13th. And Jake Sorrell, Connor Hughes, and Kyle Jackson down the back, and who's the other Williams? I forget his name. I really do apologise. Jack Wilson,
okay,
sorry.
It takes a couple of races to get into it.
I think Jake Wilson is still going out, but the other 3 have had to retire. The 2 new guys, obviously, because it's their first race. And Jake Sorrell, I think he may perhaps have a penalty from last week, maybe not sending in the clip.
I think it may have been. I'm pretty sure it was. I didn't have the full rundown on that, but I suspect it may well have been. So we've got effectively, excuse me, all the drivers will actually be going through. We were expecting 18. I'm just desperately trying to struggle to see who the 18th driver is who we haven't got, actually. Just running through. We've got both Mercedes. We've got both Ferraris.
It's the other Red Bull, I believe.
Yeah, Red Bull. Ryan Grice we knew wasn't coming
that's the
in.
one, yeah.
We've got both McLarens. Alfa Romeos. Yeah, we've got both Alfa Romeos. And Toro Rosso. Ross and
Jamie
Sean.
Good.
Jamie Good. That's it, yeah. Yeah,
him.
Racing Point. So Sean Street's teammate, Jamie Good, is the man that we are missing. We did know that Phil Harris and Ryan Grice would not be in this evening, but looks like Jamie Good may not be. And he could come in late, but if he does, he will be starting at the back of the grid.
Yes, yes indeed.
So the guys are out on track now for this Q1 session. That does mean that all the drivers will be going through due to those disqualifications. Obviously, as we said, the two new drivers, Connor Hughes and Kyle Jackson, they have to automatically disqualify as there's their first race. That's F1 Tonight rules. Basically, new guys, you know, you may not necessarily have the race experience. You might put down a fantastic qualifying time, but then when it comes to the race, it's all hell breaks loose, and it's quite. Yeah, I know some people don't like, but I've got to be honest. I think it makes sense for your first, for your rookie race. To me, it does make sense.
Yeah, it's a bit of trial by fire, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's the build-up that will get to you if you let it. But once you get into the race, it's. I mean, remember my first race with the guys in F1 Tonight, and it's brilliant. Once you get going, it's just like most of us probably do. We sit there on the grid going, "Oh, I'm nervous now," but it's so much fun once you get going. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
so that's the situation for those guys. We are on board with Jack Wilson at this moment in time. He's in the second sector, just coming around 14 into Stavlot now, and he's winding up well, looking good so far.
Yeah. I hope he's on an out lap or on a hot lap now.
He's on a hot lap.
A bit of rain.
Yeah, there are a few drops of rain. You're right. I just caught that. So he's round 17 now, coming down to the bus stop. What can he do? This is not looking too shabby, I've got to say.
It's pretty well put together at the moment. That old crucial 19.
Oh, 145.6. Very nice.
It's
puts him up into provisional P9 there for this Q1. Remember, normally in Q1 session with a full grid of 20 drivers, you drop the slowest 5, so that would be from 16 to 20 would normally be dropped. Obviously, as we have those retirements or disqualifications from those drivers with penalties and obviously rookie drivers, we will see everybody go through to the next Q. So Q2, I'm just trying to think, we will have 13 drivers, won't we? Yes.
Yeah.
So Q2 will have 13 drivers. That will then drop to 10 drivers for the Q3 session, and depending on where they're placed, that will be their place on the grid. And then for Q3, the top 10 then have a shootout to see who is the main man, and who gets that pole. So it's going to be very interesting.
Absolutely.
But as we say, these damp conditions, this is not going to help any of the other guys.
A bit, isn't it, for the drivers?
I mean, at the moment, it's not too bad. I think the dries are, absolutely fine. I don't think there's enough on there to make too much of a difference. Although saying that, Cameron Wilson going wide around 10, 11 there, or into 10, out of 10 into 11 rather. But It's tricky when it starts getting like this. Let's actually go on board with him as he drops down to 14. This is the corner we're talking about. If you hit that apex, that rumble strip just right and get the exit, you can really lay down power. But he's taking it quite gingerly because of that. That track is definitely damp now. He's got to take it a little bit more carefully, isn't he? A little bit more gingerly, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, tiptoe around, just get it back to the pit safely. He's got his time locked in. He's through to Q2. Don't want to make a mistake now and risk not getting that session.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think Jonathan Donkel's been doing his rain dance in the comments, so wishing everyone good luck for tonight, but also saying hopefully some rain. And what do you know? We've got some rain in qualifying. So and Connor Hughes has got some support, some fans saying go on Conboy. So I think he's got some fans watching tonight. So that's cool.
Cool. Well, a big shout out to the Connor Hughes fan base there. We hope you're going to enjoy the stream.
Yeah, Sil DeWitt's come in as well and said, good evening.
Oh, good old Sil. Good evening, Sil. Sil DeWitt, one of the NL drivers, very competent driver, new to season 6 for NL. They race on a Thursday night, so this Thursday they will be racing. I'm just trying to desperately think where they're going to be, actually. Oh, Monza, of course, sorry.
Yeah, Monza.
Yeah, Monza, Italy, yeah.
All Thursday.
Yeah, so that's this Thursday, Monza. And Sil DeWitt, one of the up-and-coming new drivers, joined the F1 Tonight NL League. Oh, dearie me!
Oh,
yeah!
Are you watching? Oh, lucky boy.
Sean Gregory, lucky he didn't take his wheels out. He's going to have to really take it easy down into the pits. But this is exactly what we were saying, and this is exactly where things can go wrong, isn't it? It's as you're coming uphill there. Too much power, and then with these conditions, that's where you're going to see cars go out if those sort of situations occur, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know what he's thinking. He's a driver. It's in his DNA to want to get that 151 into the 140s. But he's guaranteed Q2. He just needs to go and, I think, sit in the pits for a little while now, and at least keep that car going for the next qualifying session so he can actually set a time.
Yeah. Definitely, he wants to take it nice and easy round that track because he does not want to spin that car and then end up in the barrier and possibly DNF, that's for sure. Well, there's me saying take it easy, and he's doing, you know, looks like a handbrake turn around Brussels there.
I was thinking that as well, yeah. Letting the back end slide out of it.
Yeah, bit of power sliding going on.
Indeed.
So, the guys, just under 2 minutes remaining. Session, I'm sure, will go through pretty quick. Guys already retiring from the session, basically saying, yeah, we're good to go. But yeah, I mean, obviously Tom Stevens setting that opening lap and Callum White in a Mercedes there under dry conditions. But as you said, you know, that's not a shabby run at all. 143.7 and that 144.2. These guys are going to be gunning for it, but the rain is going to make a difference now, isn't it? And the other thing is as well, you know, the guys cannot do any dramatic changes to their setup now, can they, either?
No, they can't. And that's the same thing we had with last week's race in Hungary, was where we suspect, at least, we don't know for sure, but we suspect they were ready for a dry race.
No, they were actually aware it was going to rain, but they just didn't know
were they?
how much or where.
Okay.
So they didn't know how much it was going to be, I think.
Right. Yeah, it just shows to go to show. I presume in this case, it's definitely know it was going to be raining in qualifying. We don't know what the race will be like, but we'll presume at least the setup is, hopefully, for their sakes, it's right for this race. As Sean, just a little bit.
Don't pin it, Sean. Don't pin it. You're so close.
18. Just a little celebratory donut there. He's just happy he's made it back.
He's on the hard compound tyres, which is interesting, but he's trying to just get a little bit of scrub into them. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm just a genuine mistake.
That was, everyone else was running on the softs. Dylan Platt went on the hard. Sean Gregory on the hard. I've got to say, I am not expecting any hard runners here for this race because it's not generally a preferred option here, is it? I mean, normally you'll see, you know, a one-stop sort of, you know, mediums to softs or soft to mediums. That tends to be what you see under normal conditions. Obviously, with the wet conditions, it does mix it up somewhat, but that's what you would expect to see, isn't it?
Yeah, normally, like you say, the one-stop medium to soft, or vice versa, perhaps. But obviously, this rain that we've seen is on the scene tonight. It could throw it up in the air for the race, depending on when it comes along. So keep a lookout for that and the strategies. Yeah,
very definitely. I don't know if Ryan Lee is actually going to get through, but we're going to have Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari. He'll be starting 15. 16 will be Connor Hughes in the Renault, and 17 will be Kyle Jackson in the Renault as well. So that's where we are with those guys. 13 drivers we've got going through. And yeah, I would suspect that we're going to probably maintain these wet conditions into this Q2 session. We will see.
You'd expect it to keep through, unless it's just a quick shower.
Oh, come on, the anticipation.
Oh, it's still here.
Yes, it's raining. It's definitely raining.
It'll be interesting to see how it mixes it up for qualifying, especially if it sticks around into Q3 as well.
Yeah, the drivers are indeed on those intermediates.
Absolutely, yeah. Just referencing Adrian Rich, our Red Bull driver this evening, one of the Red Bull drivers. He's looking at the predictions, and he was in the testing session with Kyle Jackson and Connor Hughes. Noted that Kyle Jackson looked pacey in testing, so we'll see how he performs tonight. Obviously, starting at the back due to his first race with the league this evening. He's got to start at the back. Isn't able to qualify. Connor Hughes looks a little bit nervous, he noted, but I'm sure that's, like I said earlier on this evening, it's probably going to snap out of him very quickly as he launches off the line this evening and gets into the Grand Prix. It always wakes you up when you get off the line and get into the race.
Yeah, definitely.
As we're seeing the drivers now come out, as we said, all on the intermediates.
Yeah, they are all there at this moment. So we're just running on board at the moment with the McLaren of Cameron Widdowson. Cameron formerly with the Renault team. After a few driver changes, he's gone across to McLaren, so his teammate Gary McKenny, you can see just ahead of him there as they're going through Welkom. But these conditions, they are tricky. I mean, intermediates, but no defined racing lines as such at the moment on a number of the corners there, I noticed. Obviously, you've got one there on Brussels, you can see. Cameron just going wide out of Brussels there, letting the other guys past him. It's definitely tricky conditions.
It will be, yeah. I think until you see some guys lay down their first hot laps and clear some of that water off the racing line.
Yeah.
I think until then we're going to see quite a slippery circuit, I think. And it's not the best track for it. A lot of high-speed corners doesn't really help.
It certainly mixes it up, that's for sure.
Yeah, a few ginger laps, I think, to begin with through Eau Rouge.
We saw this obviously last week in Hungary, although in Hungary it was a little bit different. Maybe we might see dry racing conditions, but in Hungary it was lovely dry qualification, and then the heavens just opened up, didn't they, for the start of the race?
Yeah, they did. And actually, I think this way of the weather coming actually favours the race a bit more, I think, in the sense that the rain can really throw around the qualifying grid. Because some people, as we saw last week in Hungary, prefer the rain a bit more to others.
Yes.
We saw Sean Gregory didn't quite get the race he wanted, I think, from the wet track as he would prefer on the dry one. So maybe we can see some people perhaps out of position in qualifying, maybe a bit higher up than they would think, and that could really twist up the race a bit, I think. So
yeah,
it's exciting, I think, tonight.
It definitely can make a hell of a difference to it. Let's just see who's actually leading the way. I think it is actually Dylan Platt. He's on the camel straight at the moment. Let's go on board with him. Reaches the end of the camel into Welkom now. Nicely done, good control. Got a good exit out of 8, bringing him down now towards turn 9, Brussels. You want to go in tight on the start, and then as you come round, open it up, ready for that 9 left-hander.
That's it.
Sorry, 10.
Just seeing Cameron Widdowson. Sorry, I think he's lost it through Eau Rouge, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
That was our first retirement for tonight.
Yeah, he has. It's in the McLaren there. We were watching him on his outlap. The little bit of a wobble from Dylan Platt as he came out of Pouhon. Little wobble again as he comes out of 30 campus. Yeah, really having to take it down. He really wants to lay down that power, doesn't he? You can see that's what that twitch is. It's that. Oh, okay, I better ease off a little bit.
Yeah, he's urging to get going, isn't he?
Definitely. Coming down into Blanchimont 17 now. Nicely taken round there. Approaching the final 2 turns of the bus stop, 18, 19. Oh, a little bit too deep on 18. Made recompense though, but he lost a bit of time on that. He's done a 156.2.
It's always hard as being the first one out. And I think he's not done too bad of a job of it, really, considering it's
at all.
You've got to figure out those braking zones, haven't you?
158.7, Ross Milburn 156.9, Gary McKenny 157.7, Callum White 155.4, Tom Stevens a 155. Sorry, Tom Stevens 155.4, Callum White 155.8. Sorry, I was looking at that just as he came up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got the same thing.
Oh, and he's lost his front wing there, Tom Stevens, as he laid down the power out of Stavlot 1, went into the wall. He's lucky he didn't wipe himself out there.
Yeah, very much so. Just getting away with it with just the right front wing broken. I think he'll be quite pleased with that in these conditions.
Yeah, definitely.
You can already see just evidenced by those gaps between the drivers, just as we're beginning the session here, that Tom is still gunning for it tonight, as we've said, pre-race.
Yes. He's a determined man, isn't he? I mean, he knows what he's aiming for, and he's going to pull out all the stops to get there. So it's going to make it very, very interesting indeed. Because I'm wondering, he's looking to pull. Oh dear, was that? Who's that? That's just stopped in the back there. Was that Adrian Rich?
Yes,
just stopped.
Drivers through. I think
Russell's there. Yeah, I think he just went offline and let the guys through there. Yeah, because we established when we were talking earlier, he does need to push. But in pushing, you can sometimes obviously push that bit too much, can't you?
Yeah,
that's what you've got to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And I think from his point of view, it might be a bit harder to see than we can just saying it. He doesn't need to push as hard as we know he can. Yeah. As we saw last week, he can pull a massive gap out. He hasn't got to. He's just got to do that, and get a bit of a gap and win. So, but when you're the driver that's got that pace, it's easier said than done to just kind of back off a bit.
It is, and he is somebody that sort of goes for it all the way. But I mean, he said, last week in that podium interview, it just sort of came about. It wasn't necessarily he was planning at the start of the race, right, I'm going to totally dominate this, I'm going to lap everybody that's out there. That wasn't his mindset. His mindset was, okay, concentrate, let's get these laps down, let's get it consistent, and that's what delivered, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the best kind of mindset to have, isn't it? Just head down. He knows he's got the speed, just focus and deliver, and he did.
Jack Wilson just moving aside there. And, I think that was Ross Milburn who went flying past him.
You're not the nicest place to give way to another driver
there.
No,
but I've got to say, Ross, he did it well. He pretty much flew past him on that one, didn't he?
Didn't bat an eyelid.
No. A bit like watching the Top Gear track, isn't it, as they come round the tyres?
Yeah, it is. Good view for him there, actually.
Yeah. So now the other one here, obviously Ross Milburn, who we're on board with now, he has had, a fantastic season. Came in a little bit later, but he's made up for it, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm really pleased to see him back tonight because he can do some quick races. So it's going to be exciting to see where he can put himself tonight. Yeah,
I mean he's a very, very competent driver. I know that we do obviously make reference to Tom because he is he is a fantastic driver. He's I would say certainly in the top three. But that said, in the top three there's still another two guys, and there's quite a few guys behind as well that can, when they get inspired, they can really deliver. This isn't a given. And again, it only goes to show when we look at our championship leader, Dylan Platt. I mean, youngest guy in the league. He slipped through during the what I would say the recruitment period, but rightfully so because for a young guy, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He races well, and he's a fair racer as well. He doesn't take unnecessary risks. He knows what he's doing. When he takes a risk, it's a calculated risk, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we saw a bit of a dip in that form around Hungary. I think it was a race that really kind of threw it up in the air for all the drivers, like we were saying.
Yeah.
Not quite what they thought was going to happen that race.
No, but, definitely not.
Yeah, a rare blip in form for Dylan. I think we'll see him back on form tonight.
Yeah, because again, he's looking to prove his worth as well. He knows that Tom is going to be gunning for him, so he's going to be sitting there going, yeah, okay, you're gunning for me, but I'm still 3 full wins ahead of you.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to do something special, mate, because I'm still there.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself, Eddie.
Yeah, definitely. And I love to see that sort of rivalry and competition between the guys, because it really does, adds that extra element, let's say. So 5 minutes remaining of this session. Most of the guys in the pits. Callum White is out on track at this moment in time. Obviously, Tom Stevens come in to get those repairs done. Callum White. Oh, Dylan Platt has actually gone out. Dylan Platt is DNF.
I think he's happy with that.
He's just no. He's happy.
Yeah.
breathe. No, I was just, he's just retired, as you say, because you know nobody's going to be pushing him out of third place. So he's set definitely to go into that third queue. Now, this is an interesting one, isn't it, Dan? Because normally in dry conditions under Q2, whoever is in that top 10, whatever tyre they set their fastest lap with, effectively in this session, that would have to be the tyre they start the race with. Under wet conditions, that's no longer the case, is it? Actually, if it's a dry start, they've got a free choice, haven't they?
Yeah. So that's another exciting element to add to the race. That starting grid to see who's choosing what.
I mean, we are assuming that it's going to be a dry start. I suspect it will be, judging by previous sessions and rounds. Normally, not always, but normally, if you've got a wet quali, you tend to have a dry start.
Yeah, we hope so. It's F1 2019. You never know what can happen, Eddie.
Well, that's true. That is very true.
But fingers crossed. I think a dry start would be good for these guys.
I think it would. I mean, a wet start would certainly be good from our point of view, from the viewers' point of view. But I think these guys are hopefully looking for that. Let's see who else.
I was watching with Josh Diggles, and he had a bit of a moment coming up. I guess, do we call it Rodillion? Is that a bit controversial? Or are we just saying Eau Rouge for the corner? Is it Rodillion or Eau Rouge?
Rodillion or Eau Rouge?
Can we say that? But anyway, coming out of Eau Rouge at the top of the hill there, he had a bit of a moment, letting his back end slide out and just tap the wall.
To be fair, it was out of Eau Rouge because it was out of 3 as he was coming into 4.
Yeah.
So he didn't get the exit right, so it was out of Radion leading up to Eau Rouge. So it's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. We were making comment earlier because obviously, certainly from my point of view, I've got to know the tracks fairly well. I've got to say, I can more or less, see a clip of a race and more, generally pick out which track it is. But the numbering or the corner numbering on some tracks, when you look at the various maps, is horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, just getting some reference for tonight, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I think there was about 3 maps I saw with different numbers of corners between 18 and 20. So
yeah, I've seen that many a time.
Some little kinks in the road, they call that a corner. Others don't.
It is. It's definitely on a number of tracks. It is quite amusing. And some corners that you think should be corners aren't even numbered.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Austria is a good example of that.
That is a classic example. Yeah, absolutely classic. So we're on board with Sean Street. Oh, goes a little bit wide out of Stavlot there, but I think the guys are pretty much there as it stands at this moment in time. In the drop zone, we have, unfortunately, Josh Diggles. He's in the Hussey. He is out on track at the moment. He needs to shave, if he can shave 3 seconds off, he would push Jack Wilson in, because Jack Wilson's in the pits. He's not going to have an opportunity to do another lap. And also Sean Gregory, who hasn't actually set a lap as yet. That's surprising, because Sean's normally pretty good in the wet, isn't he?
He's winding up to it. I don't think he's quite on a lap just yet, though. But he's on his way out, coming through sector 1 into 2 now. Josh Diggles right now is to watch if he can.
Well, he's coming around Pouhon now. He's exiting Pouhon, coming down to turn 12 now.
Yeah.
So he's coming to the end of that second sector.
See what that delta's like as it comes through. 3.4 seconds up at the moment.
That's good. That is good.
So that's
what he wants. Where he wants to be. He wants to maintain that now in this third and final sector. Actually, Gary McKenny just moving over there.
Yeah, just moving out the way, I think. Yeah. Nice of him.
He's down.
The driver as well.
Into the bus stop now.
A little deep.
He did go a little bit too deep there. Let's hope he didn't lose too much time. Hopefully half
58
second.
something. I thought it was a bit 58.7.
Ooh, nice, 158.7.
That'll do.
That will do the job. That will definitely do the job. Tony Foster is out on track at the moment. He's just coming down the Kemmel Straight. Jack Wilson, as I say, it was 11. Now, Sean Gregory, he's the man that can spoil the parties. He comes round. He's onto the straight. This could be a spoiler. Is it? No! Oh, dearie me. No.
202, not quite there for him.
Not quite there. Not quite there. So, Jack Wilson in the Rocket Williams. He'll be starting in row 6, P11. Alongside him will be Sean Gregory in the Toro Rosso. Row 7, P13 will be Cameron Widdowson in the McLaren. Top 10 going through to the third and final queue to decide those top 10 grid positions. Tony Foster, Josh Diggles, Adrian Rich, good run from Adrian, Gary McKenny, Sean Street, Matt Goodyear, Ross Milburn, Dylan Platt, Callum White and Tom Stevens. Okay, it's come to that time and you're going to have to get used to this. Who's going to be on pole, Dan? Actually, no, you called it last week.
What's that?
You called it last week, didn't you?
I did. I nailed it on the head last week, I'm afraid,
you did,
Eddie.
You did. Okay, I'm going to leave you an opening here because I'm generous like that.
What have we got?
I'm going to go for Callum White for pole.
Ooh, saucy. I like it. I'm going to be a bit mainstream here, and I'm going to put my finger on Dylan, I think, for today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I think actually, yeah, that's not a bad shout. Thinking about it, yeah, that's not a bad shout. But anyway, we will see. Callum White. We're going to have the regulatory sort of wager on this.
Well,
a pint of eau de vie.
I think we've got to specify this time because I'm getting a pint
You don't
of
have
water.
to specify.
I want to know what I'm getting myself into this time, Eddie. Because, I'll be honest, I was hoping for a pint of something else.
Were you really?
Yeah,
I can always throw in a bit of squash if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sweeten it up a little bit.
I'll sweeten a deal. I'll stick some squash with it.
Yeah, sweeten the deal. Yeah, I think I'll put another pint on it. I'll shake your hand to a pint.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Shall we be specific? Should we go for the gold stuff or the black stuff? Which stuff are we going for?
I think we'll have to go for the gold stuff.
Gold stuff. Okay, not
Yeah,
the lukewarm brown, the gold. The ice cold gold.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Ice cold gold.
Okay, that'll do then. All right.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay, we'll go for that. We'll go for that. So, Dan is calling Dylan Platt. Got to say, good shout there. I'm going to go for Callum White. And some of you be sitting there, I'm sure, merrily typing away in your YouTube comments box. What about Tom Stevens? Well, we don't like to be obvious, do we? We don't like to be obvious, and it's not a given. So, yeah.
Bit more fun that way, isn't it?
Yeah, livens it up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is F1 Tonight UK. Yeah, we okay. Right, and we are now getting ready for this Q3 session to decide the top 10. And is it me or is it dry?
I think
it is still red. It's still red.
I think it's just you this time round.
Yeah, it's probably just me looking at the wrong screen. Actually, if I look at that screen, it does look wet. Look at that screen; it just looks great.
I think it's probably still inters. I don't think it's full wet.
It is still inters. Yeah, I just checked. It is inters. So is it Callum White coming out first or Tom Stevens?
Or Tom's
Tom's just pipped in.
There's a sour bit down the end. I think Dylan Platt's just going to have the both.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, because he's at the end of the pits there. So Dylan Platt, first man out on track, first out lap. So he'll be laying down his time.
Oh, getting a bit slippery through our rooms.
He's definitely wheel spinning there. I could see at least 2 wheel spins.
Yeah. Sorry about the pits and again through our rooms.
Yeah.
He's not a man lacking confidence tonight, is he?
I don't think so. No. I mean, and to be fair, yeah, if that was me wheel spinning, I would be going. I really would.
Yeah, there'd be something with me in that cockpit, I think.
Yeah, because you'd be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go into the wall. But good control, certainly there from Dylan. Because this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, when these cars, let's say, get away from you, they really do. There's not an awful lot you can do.
I mean, I'm the best man to ask. I can tell you quite happily that when these cars get away from you, they really do.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite often it's game over.
Yeah, it is. And it's so difficult as well, especially when you do now, you know, with the ERS. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, we talk about ERS and DRS. DRS is only activated during dry conditions, and that is a wing that opens up on the back wing. So effectively you get a greater airflow through that back wing, which therefore less drag, makes you move faster. That's DRS, and that's in the DRS zones, and that's under dry conditions. ERS is the electronic recovery system, if I remember rightly, and that is effectively, if you like, a second engine. So you've got a petrol engine and then you've got an electric engine. Now that energy for the electric engine is actually generated in braking zones, so the force of braking basically builds up the battery, and there is a battery which you can either renew or deplete, and that adds quite a few extra horsepower, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, but I think about 150 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
To your straight line. Oh, sorry, not kilometers an hour. Horsepower.
Horsepower. Yeah, that's
it'll add to your power, overall power. So it's a big thing. You know, we don't see it in the game so much, but in real life, you lose that, and you're a sitting duck effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's an essential part of the car. And
it's the management of it as well, because the thing is, you've got to manage it whilst you're actually racing as well. And you know, from your point of view, your driver, you've done it. It's bloody tricky, isn't it?
It is. There are some tracks, and I'll be honest, I've learned a lot of how to save ERS through Adrian racing with him. But there are some tracks where you get, like Austria's one, sector 1, you run it in overtake mode, and the rest of it you can run it in low to just off. Yeah. And save it, because it's not so necessary through the windy bits. Here, it's a tricky mix of both, because it's so fast. You can run it in sort of a low mode through sector 2. But sector 1 and 3, it's a bit of a give and take. You decide where you're going to run the stronger or the higher mode through each sector. It's challenging here because it's just so quick all the way around. There's not much place to recover the energy.
Now, sorry, but I've just seen Matt Goodyear go out and Ross Milburn.
Yeah, I think Ross Milburn.
So I don't know if there's been an incident on there.
Matt, I think, has just lost it on his hot lap. But Ross, I think, lost it actually before starting his lap, which is a shame.
Well, we're on board with Tony Foster. I'm just trying to see if I can see them on the track. I think it may have been round Poole, I'm not too sure. Can't see, 2 and 3, sector 2, 3. We're in sector 2 now, so it could have been. We've got green now, so we won't see the cars, but it's probably on this set of corners here as they were coming round campus and down towards the Stavelot turns, I would suspect. That's where they've gone off. So, that's unfortunate, but not a great surprise there. Oh, Callum White.
Oh, hello.
Leads the way, 155.6. Hello, Callum.
Getting excited.
Oh, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat now. Yeah, that's a good run. 155.6.
Very nice lap time from the both of them. And
very good.
I've had a bit of a moment on his hot lap. Perhaps maybe avoiding Matt Goodyear on with his incident maybe. So he's now unleashing his speed down the Camel Straight, getting a bit of a toe from the car in front.
Yeah, and that's his team who's going to slow right down. Yeah, he wasn't too sure. Comes into their coup now.
Or not. I think he might have pulled out of it.
I'm not too sure whether he's pulled out of it or whether he just wasn't too sure where his teammate was going. And then he just sort of slowed right down. I mean, obviously that will affect his time. See, now he's got a different line into that. I don't know if you noticed that, Dan, but into Brussels he goes tight, wide, tight. So he actually takes the apex wide and then goes in tight out of that apex then to get onto the right hand side for 9. That's an interesting one.
It is, yeah. Watching, the likes of Tom and some of the really quick guys. Tom obviously being an esports driver as well. It's actually quite handy watching it in the pits when you're sat there watching qualifying happen, just try and get any little tip you can on the best line to take, or what line they take.
Nuance on the track, etc. Yeah.
That's an example of it, really. A bit of an odd one, but perhaps works well for him.
Yeah, I mean, again, I suppose it's all about laying down the power and getting the best sort of equilibrium, really, is what you're looking for on that. Let's watch him into 18, 19. They should go quite, I thought he would go very tight in there. Oh, he's into the pits, right, okay. So he's into the pits. He's not happy with that run, clearly.
Drying up, I think.
It's drying up. Yeah, it is drying up, because I'm pretty sure we're seeing some of the guys now. Let's see if he's going. He's into the pits. He's actually going into the pit box, so I'm just going to keep the tyres up. Sean Street has gone out as well in the meantime, so we lost another one there. So those guys will be lining up in rows 9 and 10 as it stands at this moment in time, although I won't necessarily know what order they're going to be in, but that's where they will be. So they will be starting rows 9 and 10, sorry, 9 and 10, rows 4 and 5. In positions from, well, 8, 9, 10, whichever that may come out to be. Tom Stevens into the pits, Tony Foster into the pits. His teammate Jake Sorrell obviously went out early on. And it's still close though, isn't it? 2 tenths there at the moment between Dylan Platt and Callum White under these conditions. But it does look like it is drying up. Yeah, Gary McKenny's gone onto the softs. Dylan Platt onto the softs. So we've got 4 minutes from now. This is interesting because this track is going to be pretty much virgin territory. There's not going to be any rubber down, is there? So they're not going to be doing their top speeds, but they will certainly surpass these intermediate times.
Yeah, exactly like you say. It's going to be fresh turf for them, if you like.
Yeah.
Nothing really out there. It's just a fresh track for them to
go out and going to
get.
They're only going to get really an outlap and 1 lap, so it's only 1 fast lap they're going to have on here. So this is going to be very, very tight indeed. Is that Gary McKenny? I think is no, that's Adrian Rich, first man out.
Adrian's first one out, and I think it's his first lap as well. He's been waiting for that dry track to come about.
He's feeling confident on here. He needs to lay it down. Looks like the Mercedes coming out behind him. Let's see who that is. I think that's going to be Tom Stevens.
Yeah, Tom Stevens.
So Adrian Rich on his outlap now. Tom Stevens is behind him on the track.
Interesting. Have we seen DRS be re-enabled just yet?
I haven't noticed it come up as yet.
No.
Got a yellow flag already.
That's always a telltale sign. Yeah, I don't know who that. I think it might just be Tom warming his tyres through a rouge.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense, actually. So we are on board with Adrian Rich. Now this is really going to mix it up because some of these guys are going to get the jump, aren't they, really? And especially with those guys, you know, going out. Ross Milburn, Matt Goodyear, Sean Street, 3 fast drivers as well, obviously reflected in the fact they're into this Q3 session. But they're going to be starting at the back of the grid, and I wouldn't necessarily have placed them there.
No, certainly not. So that'll be certainly very interesting to see how they can work their way up the field as we get underway.
This is going to be a fun race, Bo.
It is.
This is going to be very interesting because, you know, again, you know, let's not forget we've got those other guys that are slightly out of place at the back as well. You know, Jake
Carl Jackson, the new guy, for example, that Adrian's written down, looked really pacey in testing. So have to see how he can perform tonight coming from the back.
It's going to be very interesting indeed. And I always love that when we've got a nice fast driver out of place towards the back of the grid. It always livens it up. But also in this top 10 as well, you know, a few guys out of place as to where they would normally be. And yeah, it really does. It makes it a spicy race. You know what I mean?
It's a spicy race.
It's a spicy race. I've got to save that for next week actually, because we're at Monza next week. But I'll save it for this Thursday actually. Yeah. I can't do a Belgian accent.
I'm not going to try it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. No, I won't do it. No, I wouldn't. Maybe a bit of Hercule Poirot. You know, do you want the pancake and some fries? So, Adrian Rich now on his hot lap. Ooh, here a bit of dirt there. Coming down into Brussels now. Let's see what he does. He takes that wide line, which is the preferred line, I've got to say, for most people. Into turn 9 now. Sorry, 10 into 11 Pouhon. Nice and convincing around Pouhon. Good grip round there.
Yeah, very nice.
That was nicely done. Into 12, round campus 13. Dropping down now towards that turn 14. This is where you've got to watch it. Hit that curve, get the exit, nicely done. Round stab lock now, building up the speed. Getting ready now, round 16, coming down to Blanchimont, 17. This is looking a good time. Remember, 144 is what we saw in early Q1, or was it 143 actually, wasn't it?
143,
yeah.
5, I think.
Oh, and it's a 145.8 from Adrian Rich. And that's it, this is it, that's the qualifier. They've only got one lap, haven't they?
Yeah,
that's it.
He's on hold.
I was going McKenny. Who's that facing the wrong way? Was that Dylan?
Oh, what a shame. No, that's Gary McKenny.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure. I think it's between 11 and 12, I think. He must have lost it coming out of Pouhon.
Yeah. So Gary McKenny facing the wrong way on the track. Fortunately, on the wrong side of the track. So that's good news. Tony Foster, provisional second. He's going to be well chuffed with that. Tom Stevens coming round now, but this is going to be a blinding time. This is going to be a 142 high, 143, 143. Oh, 144, 144.0. Wow. Wow.
That's interesting. So a bit slower than his Q1 time.
Well, Callum White is...
And we've still got Dylan to finish, and Callum.
Yeah, Callum White is just coming down towards 14 out of sector 2 now. Good one round 14 into Stavlov, 15 now. He's down 9 seconds, so 155. That puts him 150, 146 at the moment. But he needs to pull out something here in this third and final sector.
Josh, wow. Josh Diggles there.
Look at that, 144.1. Josh Diggles in the Haas.
Brilliant.
Great run from him. Oh, but this is looking good. He's made it up. He has made it up. Can he get it now? He's got to go for it. Oh, look at that! A 143.4.
Oh, Dylan just picked him.
And he got second. Who got first? Damn! Damn you all!
Oh dear.
You get it, Dylan Platt! I don't believe your luck there. Dylan Platt. 142.9 from Dylan Platt. Well, I'll tell you what, I gave Callum a round of applause. I did Dylan, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Big round of applause for Dylan. I mean, 142.9. I mean, that is half a second he took out of the next fastest, Callum White, who's in second. But at least we did good, though, didn't we? We got first and second.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did very well. Yeah,
first, second. Tom Stevens will be starting row 2, P3. Alongside it will be Josh Diggles in a Haas. Great run from Josh. Row 3, P5 will be Adrian Rich, and we'll run through who's going to be alongside him in a few seconds' time. But yeah, that was a great end because, as you said, you know, they only had the out lap and one fast lap, and that's it then.
Yeah, that's the pressure to perform in those circumstances, and
fantastic
the driver has really pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah. So drivers now are just going to be readying up shortly. They'll probably have a 2 or 3 minute break. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's looking rather sunny out there.
It is looking very dry.
Very, very dry.
Any chance of rain? I don't know.
Well, we were saying...
pretty blue up there at the minute.
Well, the guys have got a free choice of tyres, haven't they? This is the thing. They can go on to whatever they want now. I would suspect that we're probably going to see Dylan Platt on the mediums and Tom Stevens and Callum White on the reds, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it turns out.
Because I know Dylan does prefer to sort of leave his sprinting to the end, which, to be fair, does make sense because, you know, you haven't got the fuel load and you can pull out a lot faster times than you can with the reds, sort of with a full fuel load, really. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, the strategy calls, what we'll see come up. I think actually Sean Gregory will be, although obviously not making it through to Q1 is not ideal for him. He's starting in a place where, as we've seen in previous races, he does tend to fare quite well. Towards
So
the
we
back
do
of the
have
grid,
all
so
18 drivers in. Sorry, I'll just quickly check there because I was looking at the grid. We do actually have all 18 drivers in. So Jamie Good has actually got in, but he will be starting at the back of the grid.
Yeah.
So Jamie Good will be P18 in that Toro Rosso. That's going to be interesting with Jamie Good at the back there.
Yeah, very much so. Be exciting, like a lot of the guys at the back, to see where they can put themselves. Obviously, not a great result last week with the DNF.
No, definitely
but
not.
He'll
what
be
he was
looking to get back on form this week, similar to how Sean did it last time with a 4th place, which was a brilliant result around Hungary. So hopefully both Force Indias, or Racing Points, I should say, we'll see them in the points this evening. Yeah,
and hopefully as well, good luck to the 2 rookie Renault drivers. That's Carl Jackson and Connor Hughes. I hope you have a good race, gentlemen. Don't be disheartened if you go out early. I think, statistically speaking, I think most rookie drivers do. I think it's probably a good 65 to 70% actually go out early doors on their first race. So if you do,
all I would say to them is if you're going to go out, make sure it is early.
Yeah.
So you haven't driven so much.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Obviously, I don't know how experienced these guys are on 100% races, but it does make a hell of a difference, as we've spoken about before. We'll run through the grid once the guys get formed up for their processional lap. And there they are now. So leading the way, as we said, is going to be Dylan Platt in that Alfa Romeo. And then alongside him is going to be Callum White in the Mercedes. Then we have Tom Stevens, P3 in the Mercedes. P4 is going to be Josh Diggles in the Haas. That's row 2. Row 3, P5, we have Adrian Rich in the Red Bull. And alongside him is going to be Tony Foster in the Ferrari. Then we have the first of the Toro Rossos, Ross Milburn, row 4, P7. Alongside him is going to be Matt Goodyear. And in the Haas there, teammate obviously to Josh Diggles, taking Dan's former seat. Then, oh, hang on, I lost my controller. What's going on?
You back?
No. Hang on. There we go. Got it. Don't know why it did that. How bizarre. That was a bit weird. So, yeah. So, Matt Goodyear in the Haas there, as I said. Then in row 5, P9, we have Gary McKenny in that McLaren. Alongside him is going to be Sean Street in the Racing Point. Then row 6, P11, we have Jack Wilson in the Williams. Alongside him, second Toro Rosso there of Sean Gregory. Row 7, P13, we have Cameron Widdowson in the McLaren. Alongside him is going to be Ryan Lear in the Alfa Romeo. Then row 8, P15, we have Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari. Alongside him is going to be the new Renault driver there of Connor Hughes. And then behind him, his teammate, Carl Jackson. And bringing up the rear in 18, row 9 is going to be Jamie Good. And he's in the Red Bull. Okay, that's the car that was available.
Yeah, I think that's
Jamie Good, when you see this, he's supposed to be in a Racing Point, but obviously as he came in late, he probably couldn't get in that Racing Point. He is actually in a Red Bull, but he will be racing for Racing Point, and that will be his tag there. So the driver's getting ready. Now onto the start
can we just
of the track. Sorry?
Adrian Rich, P5. I mean, he's got to be smiling ear to ear in that Red Bull right now. I mean, what a brilliant result for him.
Yeah, fantastic run. He waited right until sort of late knockings basically to come out there, and he made the right decision. Went onto the soft wall tyres, first man to set a lap.
Yeah.
Great, well done from him. Good strategy call there. So the drivers are lining up. This is F1 tonight, UK. We are here at the Spa Francorchamps for round 13 of this season 1, and they are off for the start of this race now. Dylan Platt leads the way. Callum White coming. Oh, dearie me, Callum White's got ahead, and Tom Stevens both got ahead there. Yes, and look at this, Josh Diggle's got ahead of Dylan Platt as well. Dylan drops to 4th, and Adrian Rich has got past him now.
Adrian's having a look.
Yeah, he's having a little peep as they're coming round there. They're side by side. Oh my goodness me. Oh, dearie me. And Josh Diggles has gone out. Josh Diggles has gone out.
Adrian Rich, P3.
Nice one there from Adrian Rich. He's up into that P3 position. He's got Dylan Platt, but look at this. Look at this there in the background. Ross Milburn getting past Gary McKenny just as they were coming down into those Welkom turns. Late braking there. He's already moved up into that P6 position. Gary McKenny's up too as well to P7. So these guys are really doing well, but Dylan Platt down 3. Ross Milburn, he's up 1, as I said. Gary McKenny up 2. Matt Goodyear stays where he was, up 2. Jack Wilson, short streak where he was. Cameron Wilson up 2. Jake Sorrell up 3. Ryan Lear up 1. Oh, look at this, the new guy there. Connor Hughes, he's up to 14. Carl Jackson, he's up 2 to 15. Oh, they're going wide out of there. Oh, dearie me, and wide again. There's Carl Jackson there.
5 places just after the start.
And then he dropped down there.
He's dropped back a bit. I think he might have some damage.
I think he may have some front wing damage. I'm not too sure. Let's get back to these guys at the front though. So Tom Stevens leading the way now.
And already almost a second on his teammate Callum White.
Yeah, he is. Look at this, already 8 tenths up on there. Adrian Rich, 1.3 behind Callum, and Dylan Platt, as I suspected, has started on those mediums. Now, he was hoping for a better start, obviously, to hold that place.
Yeah.
But he's still looking good. He's on mediums. He's going to be going deep in these guys. He just needs to stay with them now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, won't be having a start, like we said, but he is on the less grippy tyre. So I think off start, he probably just didn't get quite as good a launch as the guys on the softs around him, but still coming back on Adrian at the moment, as we can see, not too far off the back of the Red Bull. No, just and on a harder tyre as well, so he'll be going longer than the guys in front anyway. He
will be overtaken, he's just got to stay with him. Tony Foster, though, I'm sure he's going to be happy as well as Adrian Riches, because he's up into 5th place. He's just been taken by Ross Milburn on that Kemmel straight, but he's in 6th place. I'm sure he's happy with that, Tony. I mean, that's a good result for him to the start.
Absolutely, yeah.
Puts him in
very
good
nice.
stead.
I think finished 9th last time out, so already building on that very nicely this race so far.
Yeah, definitely. Good run from him there. Ross Milburn, obviously, as we can see there in that Toro Rosso, just got past Tony on the Kemmel straight there. He's already up to P5. You can see Dylan Platt and Adrian Rich ahead of him. So he knows what he's gunning for now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. It's just touching on there. Connor Hughes has actually has retired.
Yeah, he has.
At the Eau Rouge.
Oh dear, another victim claimed by Eau Rouge there. Josh Diggles went out on the 1st lap. Connor Hughes now on the 2nd lap. We are on board with Ross Milburn at this moment in time. He's running in P5. Dylan Platt, though, ahead of him. He's did start in pole position, Dylan. Dropped down 3 places to 4 because he is on those medium tyres, but he's still in there, no two ways about it, and he's definitely hassling this Red Bull, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is, actually.
Oh, Gary McKenny's gone out as well.
Yeah, we lost Gary too.
Oh no, what a shame.
Oh, we've lost him through, I'm not going to even try to say the name, I'll get it wrong, but I think turn 17, he's lost the back end there.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So 17, that's Blanchimont. We think we've agreed on that. It's Blanchimont.
Yeah, I think we'll come to agree on that one.
But Dylan, look at this. He's challenging now that Adrian Rich. Yes, look at that. Takes him on the Kemmel straight. They're side by side as they're coming to Welkom. Adrian, discretion, better part of valor, just slips in behind that Alfa Romeo. But
Jack Wilson is out as well.
Oh my goodness,
I think it's shamed him too.
Yeah, so watch Sean Street we should see. If we go on board Sean Street, he's just coming round Eau Rouge, Radio Eau Rouge. Yeah, you can see there on the right-hand side, Jack Wilson. So 3rd victim in 3 laps. Let's hope that this depletion doesn't go that way. One every lap.
one every lap. Yeah, we won't be racing for very long.
Yeah, definitely not. So Sean Street, he's up into 13. Carl Jackson obviously will now drop up to, or go assume that P15 position, as we've got 4 DNFs already. My goodness me.
Losing it through
well,
no DNF, but he's lost out there a little bit as Cameron Widdowson takes P11 off of him.
Yeah, Cameron Widdowson gets ahead of Sean Gregory, as you saw there. That was, I think, on the exit of Brussels, wasn't it, by the looks of it?
I think it was, yeah.
So that would have been turn 9.
Yeah.
But Sean Gregory's sticking with him. I mean, look at this. You know, he's breathing in some very high octane air at this moment in time. They're wheel to wheel. Look at that. As they're coming round turn 17, Blanchimont, down towards bus stop now, 18, 19. Now, look at that. Sean getting himself really lined up there, isn't he, for that exit of 19.
Yeah,
watch him here on this exit. He's going to look to make a race now to that turn 1 Stavlot.
Wide line is try and cut back. He's going around the outside of Cameron.
Look at this. No contact there, side by side. Oh, lovely job there. Gets back ahead of that McLaren, but they're coming into Radio Rouge now. Good exit out of Rouge there. But Sean Gregory, he's got that ERS dialed up, hasn't he? Definitely.
Yes, he certainly has. Only 30% left at the beginning of the lap almost. So he's using a lot of that.
Real battle going on here at the moment between the McLaren and the Toro Rosso for that 11th place. But I think Sean's pulling out enough of a gap now. Oh, dearie me. Everyone's getting a little bit wide round Brussels there. So they're coming down towards Pouhon. This is going to be the one to decide. It is.
That's downhill. Your gravity pushing you into the corner.
Wow, that is awesome. So that's 11 there. Jamie Good, he is racing point, but he's in a Red Bull today. He's in P10. Good go from him, really, isn't it? I mean, he started right at the back of the grid. 8 places already in lap 5. That's good going. That is definitely good going.
That's cracking stuff. I mean, he's obviously had the DNFs help him out a little bit, but regardless of that, a cracking start from dead last.
Yeah.
Now in the points after 5 laps, and still making progress. So great show from him so far.
Yeah, I think he's done well there, to say the least. Ryan Lear, he's up 5. So he's into that, wrong one there. He's into that P9 position, and 9 being his number as well. Oh, he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Actually, he's coming around Radion. Jake Sorrell, he's up to P8 in that Ferrari. But ahead of him, he's got Matt Goodyear in the Haas. He's in P7. Tony Foster maintaining that P6, but he's going to need to be under pressure very, very soon, if not already, from Matt Goodyear.
Yeah.
Then we've got Adrian Rich. He's still maintaining that P5 position. Ross Milburn has got ahead of him. He's got up to P4. So Ross Milburn in the Toro Rosso P4. Dylan Platt, he's in that P3 position. And then we have the Mercedes boys there. Callum White and Tom Stevens, who we are on board with now. Let's quickly go back, actually, because these guys are getting pretty close here.
Carl Jackson's lost it, I think, probably through Eau Rouge as well.
Oh dear. Yeah, so Carl Jackson in the second Renault has gone out. I'm not seeing. No, it's okay. We're seeing a few raindrops there, but no. But yeah, as I said, not unsurprising. Rookie drivers, first race. You know, you're not alone in the fact that you go out early in your first race, are you?
No, you're not. And I mean, in fairness, they've been thrown in the deep end, they're starting their F1 type career at Spa. Not the easiest tracks to get to grips with a 100% race in a new league.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, it'll be good for them. You know, they're underway now. They've got a taste for it. I'm sure next time we'll see them come back much more confident and
next week we are at Monza, and Monza's a very different beast from Spa, isn't it? I mean, you probably couldn't get two tracks that are any more different, actually, I think.
No, I mean, I think all they've got going for them in similarities is they're very, very quick. Apart from that, yeah, like you say, chalk and cheese.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very different tracks. We're on board at the moment with Matt Goodyear in that Haas. He is definitely hassling Tony Foster now. He sort of sat back. I think he's probably replenishing his ERS there. But Tony, I'm sure, will be getting red chevrons lighting up left and right of his screen. Just for those of you who may be unfamiliar with the game, red chevrons are your indicator that somebody is very, very close behind you. I don't know what the gap is for those red chevrons. About a couple of tenths, I would suspect, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all alongside. I mean, I think they'll probably measure it in distance rather than time. A couple of meters, maybe feet even. Away from the car, you get the reds. You get the white chevrons.
What is that like when you're driving high speed in a race and you start seeing those red chevrons lighting up left and right? What goes through your head, Dan?
Well, it's not ideal, that's for sure. If you can keep a cool head on and forget about them, then it's happy days. Don't worry about it. But yeah, when it gets red as they're coming behind you on a straight away or through the winding corners, that can really throw you off because you're worried about not hitting them, not cutting them up too much, as well as trying to stay ahead. There's a lot going on. So it's so important to be able to just kind of focus on the driving and put that out your head and just keep your head in the game really and keep ahead of them.
Yeah, that is it. It's full concentration. What I would say there, Jake Sorrell made a move on Jamie Good into turn one. And I was looking at that because I was a bit surprised because Jamie's actually on the hard compound tyres. He's coming back to him on the Kemmel with the DRS as they're coming into Lecombe. But, I mean, you know, we were talking chalk and cheese. Here it is on the track, and we've got the red wall softs and the white wall hard tyre. I've got to say, Jamie Good putting in a good show, staying with him around these corners. But I'm surprised he's gone onto the hard compound tyre.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a bit of that starting from the back of the grid attitude. Trying to go long and beat them on the strategy.
Well, I mean, it has worked, to be fair.
Well, yeah, so far, eight places up from his starting position. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really good so far, so it's working in his favour. And I think he's still with the pit windows of the guys in front.
Yeah. Pretty sweet. Just a little bit out, but he's not too far behind. But Matt Goodyear still looking to try and close down to that Ferrari Tony Foster. But Tony's really driving a wicked race this evening. I mean, Tony's always a solid driver. He always puts in solid points, always gets a position, always in the points. Not necessarily at the top, but always in the points. You can see that reflected because he is right in the middle of the field for the Drivers' Championship at this moment in time in that P11 place. But he's really driving a great race this evening, and he's keeping a good distance. I mean, Matt's now closing down a bit to him, but he's scary.
Mr. Consistent, isn't he? Old Tony Foster. He's got the joint lowest DNF to race ratio of any driver, which is 2 DNF from 12 races.
Wow. Look at this wheel-to-wheel action between Tony. Matt's gone off. He's gone off.
No. Keep it on track. He's feeling the pressure. I think he's carrying the whole reputation of Haas at the moment with him.
Yeah.
As Adrian pointed out in his predictions, that Haas haven't actually crossed the finish line since China.
Oh my goodness.
So it's been a while. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. I haven't helped that stick out at all. I mean, partly my doing. I do apologise, boys. But yeah, he's carrying the reputation of Haas with him today. So hopefully we can see Matt cross that finish line.
But to be honest with you, Dan, I mean, I know you're sort of like, you know, slightly putting yourself down there, but I don't think it's necessary because, you know, you're a competent league driver. There's no two ways about it. I just think it's a reflection of this F1 Tonight league and the competitors we got.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean it's a weird thing, honestly, racing and league racing, because as Adrian, if you speak to Adrian that I race with just casually offline, I rarely ever do the DNF.
Sorry, Tom Stevens. Sorry to quickly jump there. Tom Stevens is in the pits.
He's in the pits, yeah.
He's gone onto the mediums. So Tom Stevens has gone into the pits and he's gone onto the mediums. That will drop him down the grid. But this is interesting. Is he looking to reply to Dylan Platt early on, do you think? I mean, this could actually be an inspired call, you know?
Yeah, it really could be. So I don't think the softs last too terribly long round here, or at least stay quick for too terribly long, and the mediums will do much better. So, yeah, you're right. May have caught Dylan napping, perhaps.
Yeah, I think he's looking to try and get an early undercut on Dylan there. But again, it depends how fast they're going to go. I mean, we were saying at one stop, but I was then scratching my head thinking, oh, actually, I don't know if it is, because it's a 4-mile lap.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
in reality,
it's a long distance.
It is a long old lap. So you probably, looking at 3/4 the distance that you might look at. So 9 laps on those softs, they can probably go, I would suspect, up to 12, maybe a bit higher. But Tom Stevens definitely trying to get an undercut there, I think, on Dylan Platt. Adrian Rich is up to 4th. Ross Milburn is 3rd. Dylan Platt is now up into 2nd place, obviously, with that pit from Tom Stevens. He's 7 tenths off the back of Callum Wright, and he's staying with them. He has stayed with the Mercedes boys.
On the harder tyre as well, so really performing well today. But just credit to Tom's performance at the front, only dropping it down to P5.
Yeah.
After a pit stop, so not too bad.
Not too shabby.
For him.
Definitely not too shabby on that one. But now I'm putting myself in Dylan's shoes here. Ideal scenario for Dylan is to take that Mercedes before it pits. Obviously, he's now on his 9th lap, starting his 9th lap. This is going to be interesting. I would suspect to say he'd probably go to 12, but this is a fight now, because if Dylan can make the move on track, that's ideal for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, get back to where he qualified, and then he's got the tyre and a position to push him on. So
we definitely have to push. If he gets past Callum, he is definitely going to have to push, because that pit from Tom Stevens, that is dangerous as far as I'm concerned. He's only about 15 seconds, I think, off the back of them as it stands.
I mean, he's well in the window. Those guys in front.
Jake Sorrell, what's that? He just picked up a penalty, 3-second time penalty for Jake Sorrell.
Yeah, I think people are getting quite a few of them for Rouge, just cutting the top of the turn there.
Tom Stevens now closing down on Adrian Rich as they're coming round Pouhon.
It's an impressive corner to watch from on board, as they
definitely
race round that fast left-hander.
Look at this, he's trying to get in. Watch him get on the left-hand side now. That's where he's going to go. Then he's going to try and get in down onto this right, but Adrian's going to defend.
Yeah, nice driving.
Now, Tom goes very tight out of Stablot onto the right-hand side.
Yeah, he's
very early on.
About.
Yeah, he's following Adrian. Look at this, he's really tight there. Wheel to wheel. Oh, look at this as they're coming down round Blanchimont. Oh, Tom goes wide. He's back in again. They're coming down towards bus stop. Late break there from Tom. Late break there. Gets him ahead. That was a good move from Tom Stevens there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah, very nice actually into 18. I think Adrian backs up a little bit, but not to discount Tom there. He's come back flying on those mediums, and he's on a charge after Dylan Platt now.
Yeah, he is now. Got 16 seconds more or less between them now. And he did take that really on full pelt there. He did not ease off.
No, he didn't. Kind of goes a bit wide through Brussels. And still keeps it ahead of Dylan now, only 4 tenths behind.
Definitely laying down the pressure, isn't he? Look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always reminiscent of Phil and Callum last time out in Hungary, those last couple of laps. Just sticking very close to the back and biding his time.
My concern though is he taking too much out of these medium tyres? These
See,
riding in the dirty air,
know,
isn't he?
really. I think maybe sticking, because I don't know if he's got the pace to keep ahead, but he has got at least space to stay behind and keep the toe up along the straights, which will help kind of keep up with the Mercedes and keep him a bit further away from Tom as he starts to come back at them. So maybe it's intentional, but there's no doubt he's got the pace. Like you can see here, he's closing right onto the back of the Mercedes towards 18 and 19 now.
This is where he wants to try and get it, but the advantage of those Red Bull tyres, they can get that power down on the track far quicker. You can see it there as he pulls away. That's the difference between those red walls and those mediums.
Absolutely, yeah, you can just see the traction, the power gets down to the track so much better on those softs.
Now this is going to be the one that counts. Now watch this out. In radio, out of Eau Rouge. I mean, that's commitment. He's got the DRS now. Callum's trying to defend as they come down into Lecune. Oh no! Yes.
Oh, they're side by side. Lovely defending from Callum.
Lovely done there. Good defending from Callum White, as you say. Dylan's going to come down, and now Dylan's got the advantage into Brussels here. Can he hold that advantage?
Callum White.
Yes, he can. He can hold that advantage. Gets ahead of him.
Lovely move.
Lovely move there from Dylan Platt. Gets ahead there of Callum White, and that is exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, he didn't give up. He kept pushing and got the line into Brussels and made it happen.
I mean, it's like watching a couple of prize fighters in the ring, isn't it? Okay, who's going to get into that corner first? Oh, I've got the line, I've got you. And that's it, because as soon as you saw he had the line, that was it. A little bit of a wobble there out of Stavlon. Oh, my goodness me! Oh, and Callum White has DNF'd. Coming out of Stavlon, puts it into the wall, and the Mercedes of Callum White is out.
What a shame for Callum.
Oh,
driving so well.
He is going to be gutted, absolutely gutted with that. But you know, this is the thing though. We saw as Dylan was coming out of Stavlon, he had a bit of a wobble, and this is the thing, isn't it? You can sometimes be concentrating so much on the car ahead that you start to follow his line, and I think that's what happened there with Tom. No, Tom, sorry,
with the dirty air as well, loosens up the car even more, and you take it a bit too hard through one of the corners behind another car, and you've got much less downforce, and sometimes that's the result.
Yeah. So Callum White in a Mercedes is out. He's not going to be happy with that. But to be fair, this is Spa, and it claims its victim at every league race that I've done here. I can safely say that at least half the field have DNF'd.
Yeah. So we saw that with the Netherlands League last week, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Definitely, somewhat different conditions, but
well, yeah, a little bit easier to DNF there, I guess you could say.
But yeah, I mean, it is a challenging track, no matter what the conditions. It really does claim its victims. So let's have a quick run through where we are at this moment in time, and actually, I think I'll go through it in reverse order. Only for the sake of it, just makes it a lot easier for me. Okay, so Cameron Widdowson is now in P12, just out of the points in that P12 position. Then we have Sean Street in the Racing Point. He's in P11 again, just out of the points, but stay in there. So I can guarantee you're very likely to be picking up points at the end of this race. Jamie Goods. Well, Jamie did opt, as I said, obviously earlier on, for these for these hard tyres, but yeah, it's not really worked out for him. I mean, he moved those 8 places, but he hasn't been able to move up any further, has he?
No, he's managed to gain, I think, from a bit of the chaos at the start, but also just through talent too. I mean, it's not all DNFs.
Oh no! He's definitely got out there before those DNFs.
Like you say, it's a bit stagnant now.
Yeah,
he's into that sprint. He's into that marathon part of the race now, and just trying to make those hard tyres.
But this is the advantage he's got, because he's going to be able to go in a lot deeper than these other guys. And Ryan Lear has come into the pits, so Jamie actually moves up to P9 now. But yeah, this is where he's going to get the advantage, because you're probably looking around about 18, 19 seconds on a pit stop there. If those guys start pitting ahead of him as it stands at this moment in time, he's going to be getting into that top 5.
He is, absolutely. I think ideally his plan is hard onto soft at the end.
Yeah,
I like to think anyway.
Yeah, so he is going for that one stop.
Yeah.
But he's got the choice. He could go onto a medium as well, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could do. Yes, gone a bit earlier. Get on the medium.
But he could well do that. So let's keep an eye on Jamie Good, because he's certainly not out of the running. Then in P8, we have Sean Gregory in the Toro Rosso. Good run from him as well. Obviously, he started, well, I can't remember where he started, actually, a little bit further back. But let's have a look there. Yeah, 4 places. So he started in P12.
Yeah.
So 4 places for Sean Gregory. I mean, certainly respectable. I think he probably would have wanted a little bit more out of that. But
he had a small moment through Pujon, didn't he, early on in the race? Completely spun the car. Which lost the position to Jamie Good, but he managed to obviously get that back, as you can see there. Yeah. But it's cost him time in the long run.
It definitely
no doubt he'll be pushing to get back on the other guys very soon.
Now we are with Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari, who's closing down on Matt Goodyear in the Haas at this moment in time, and he looks like he's going to be looking to make a move on him as they come into bus stop.
He is, as he just sticks his nose in there. Outside of 19,
look at that! Look at that! That is brave. Beautiful. There. Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari moves up into that P6 place, but don't discount him yet, because we've still got Stavlot. Yeah, he stays ahead of that Haas. So Jake Sorrell is in that P6 place. He's just taken that, as we said, from Matt Goodyear in the Haas to go on board with them now as they're coming up out of Radion onto the Camel Straight. He's going to be coming back now. Yes, he is. So Matt Goodyear coming back, just gets his nose ahead as they're coming to their coup.
Some wing damage there, but
only just. It was very, very close, but good close racing from these 2 drivers.
Yeah,
Jake Sorrell, very, very good on the close racing as well, seen from previous races. So good, clean racing, and that's hard racing, isn't it? When you're that close, you know, slightest mistake, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a very fine line. These guys are teetering on between hard and fair racing.
Yeah,
and having an accident, but that's why they get to do it in F1 tonight, is they know how to ride that line and have the hard, fair racing and not make the mistakes, and saw it there.
Yeah,
close, fair racing.
Definitely,
really good stuff.
Great stuff. Good comeback there, Matt Goodyear. But I don't think Jake Sorrell is going to. He won't let it lie, lad. He won't. He won't let it lie.
He won't. He's coming back at it now. We think we'll see another similar move yet, but even closer this time, and he's made the move done already into 18.
Look at this. Now, are we going to see these guys battling it out here? But this is interesting, because Jake's on those soft tyres. He's already done 14 laps on those. Surely they can't go too much deeper. I was saying about the lifetime. I said maybe 12 laps, but we're seeing a number of guys on those softs on 15 laps, aren't we?
Yeah, Ross up the front, and Adrian and Tony ahead of them, ahead of Jake, because they're all on the same tyre, still making it last, so making it stretch out. But all the while, whilst those two are battling, Sean Gregory now only 1.2 seconds behind on the Camel Straight.
Yeah, he's closing down.
So those two in front.
He is closing down. Look at this, and again, Jake Sorrell, can he keep it? No. Yes, he can. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Oh, dear me, look at this. Sean Gregory, lovely overhead here as they're coming around Brussels. You can see Sean Gregory there. That's a lovely shot to take of these 3 guys now.
Really good stuff.
Look at this. Sean Gregory now is in the mix. Now, what do you do when you're ensuring you're just waiting for those guys to make a mistake and take advantage, aren't you?
Yeah, when they're this close, it's tricky to make a move. Very straightforward anyway. Matt Goodyear now starting to trot back a bit from Jake Sorrell, so he might get a bit of an opportunity quicker than he thinks. Sean just to slip in front of Matt and behind Jake.
Yeah, he's just aware that he's there. That's where Tom Stevens went out. You don't want to go too wide. Sorry, Callum. Tom, yeah, sorry, Callum. But this is very, very close between these three guys here, 7 and 6.
Ross Milburn's now come into
lock up
the
from
pits.
Jake Sorrell into 18 there. Only the slightest lock up.
You're starting to see now that the disadvantage a little bit on those medium tyres. As Jake's getting the power now just a bit easier.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me! Matt Goodyear loses it out of Stavlok, lays down the power and goes straight into the wall. That, I'm afraid to say, is the second Haas DNFing. And unfortunately, the China one, safety car, VSC. So we've got VSC, virtual safety car. That means that the guys have to maintain their distance, or basically the distance is calculated, so they maintain the same distance to the cars around them they had whilst under full racing conditions. They have to stay within a certain sector time. And I was actually commentating with Adrian, obviously, on Thursday for the NL race, and we were discussing that. It's a pain, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I find it very, very hard to keep within the delta time that they want you to stay within. And more times than not, I find myself losing out a bit to it, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Just trying to be a bit too careful in some instances, and you lose more time than you really need to.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. We are back on board now. Racing conditions, green lights on. Sean Gregory closing down on Jake Sorrell. So this is going to be another battle now, and that was just bad luck for Matt. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But,
shame. Another Haas and another race where they're not going to cross the finish line, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Monza next week, an opportunity for redemption.
Indeed. And just that virtual safety car there, I mean, before that started, I think it was 17 and a bit seconds between Dylan and Tom, and now it's 12.9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not saying that Tom's not flying here, but I mean, 4 seconds over 1 lap seems a bit much. I think that's just proof to the pudding, really, of virtual safety car making him lose a little bit of time there.
Definitely, I would say it does make a difference. We're on board with Sean Gregory now. He's got Jake Sorrell in his sights in that Ferrari. He's on the Kemmel straight. He's got the opportunity.
Here he goes.
Side by side. Leads into Welkom. And now Sean Gregory finds himself in a Ferrari sandwich.
They're not the better place.
Oh, Jake Sorrell nearly losing it out of Welkom. Final turn 8 there.
I think those soft tyres are coming to the end of their life.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they've pretty much had it. Tony Foster is ahead as well. So as I said, that's his proverbial Ferrari sandwich. 1.7, but I suspect that these guys are going to be coming in soon. They are the last runners on the softs, the Ferraris. Everyone else has come in. Ross Milburn came in a lap ago, so he came in at the end of 15 and 16. Sorry, he came at the end of 16, start of 17. Dylan Platt has just set the fastest provisional lap, a 1:48.696. Nice. And he's on 18-lap-old mediums.
He's still got the life in those, but Tom
Stevens just done it now, 1:48.4.
There it is.
He's on a fresher set of mediums.
Wait a minute, Dylan. I'm still here, mate.
Yeah.
And my tyres are fresher than yours.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier, because obviously we were... Oh, look at that.
He's in the running too. There you go.
1:48.3 from Ross Milburn. So Tony Foster into the pits, as I suspected, coming off those soft tyres, but Jake Sorrell's decided to stay out. Sean Gregory is now up into that P4 position. 5-second penalty for Sean Streets, exceeding track limits. Oh, Ross Milburn's gone out. And that's got to be at the top here. Yeah. Top of Radion there, he lost it. So Ross Milburn is out. So only Sean Gregory remaining now as the solitary Toro Rosso driver. And he's got Jake Sorrell coming back at him now as they come round Welkom.
I love it.
Jake loves a good fight, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's saying, oh, you're not getting away that easy, mate. I'm still here. The tyres aren't dead yet.
Definitely
Cracking
not.
stuff.
I mean, that was a great move, but
It's come out of nowhere.
it did. He just suddenly brought down.
There you go.
Good move there for Jake Sorrell. He's up into that P3 place, and he can taste that victory, boy.
He can taste the podium.
He definitely can. I mean, man, he is. Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, podium. Champagne.
He does. Yeah. He's tantalisingly close.
He is very, very close indeed. I mean, Sean Gregory isn't going to let him off lightly, but
a little bit slippery there. Out of 15.
He's going to have to come in, surely. I mean, he's proved the point, but come in now.
We know he can do it.
Yeah.
He's got a bit and just make his way back.
Stay in there, Jake. Now's the time to come in. Yeah, he's in. Yeah, he's in. Yeah, so he's into the pit. I suspect he's going to go on to the mediums. We are on lap 24. Did he get a speeding limit there? Ooh, that was close.
I don't know.
That was close.
I hate the pit entry.
Is he going? Yeah, he's gone on to those medium tyres. Adrian Rich is in P5 now. Now, Jamie Good on those hard tyres. Said keep an eye out for him, because once everyone pits, he's going to end up in that top 5. And he's there in P4.
Yeah, there he is. He's done it.
He's done it. So it has worked for him. I mean, he got that early sort of jump, obviously, for 8 places. And that was, you know, as I say, that wasn't with the DNF, so that was a genuine sort of moving up 8 places. Stayed in that 10. We were saying he's just hanging there. But obviously on those hard compound tyres, it's going to come into play when everyone pits, and that's exactly what's happened, and it's pushed him up into that P4 place. The only disadvantage that he's got now is he's going to come under pressure from those guys behind him, like Adrian Rich, Sean Street, and Jake Sorrell. Yeah. That's what he's going to watch, isn't it?
I think maybe his best bet could be doing a set of medium cuts, getting the pit stop out of the way now, and just keeping himself quick. Maybe
he's a bit too early. I think he's got an opportunity for a 1-stop on those hards, but he's just got to. This is the critical part of the race now for Jamie Good. This is where he's going to have to be at full concentration, laying down consistently fast laps, because he wants to stay ahead of these guys. Because if he can stay ahead of these guys, I mean, what, 19 laps? Mediums we're saying on 20 laps. I suspect the mediums will probably go mid to high 20s if the reds went up to sort of 18. On that basis, he's got to be looking at around about mid 30s on those hard tyres. If he can maintain that, even if he loses 1 place, if he stays on those tyres and he has an opportunity to go onto the Red Bull softs, he could be looking at a potential podium, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very good chance of that. I think right now, if he was to pit, he would come out between Tony Foster and Ryan Lear, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And have a chance at, I'd say, probably getting both those Ferraris out of the way, if not more. Maybe podium's a bit of a stretch. I don't know. It depends how his hard tyres, how they hold up for the next couple of laps, and if he loses too much to the cars behind. But at the moment, you can see the gap to Adrian's not coming down. So he's still got life in those hard tyres.
I think he's still got life. And the thing is with the hard tyres as well, that I'd say from my experience, from what I see in the race as well, is that they seem to have a second wind. They seem to drop, and then all of a sudden they pick up again, but they don't have a hard drop from the second sort of up, if you like you say with the mediums. It's a much softer drop, but there is a defined drop there. So I think now, 22 laps, he's probably reaching optimum time for those tyres. So it's actually worked out quite well for him. I think he's going to maintain that gap, certainly until these guys start pitting, and then he just needs to make the choice. Does he come in and go on to the mediums, or does he try and hold out and go on to the softs? I suspect he might well come in and go on to those mediums, but we'll see how that works out. Sean Gregory, as I say, obviously great race from him. He's up into that P3 position, so he can definitely smell the champagne there.
He certainly can.
He's 29.5 seconds off the back of Tom Stevens. Hit, as I say, around about 18-19 seconds here. So effectively, still 10, but he still has to pit. He does Yeah, he's going to have to pit and go on to. Well, it depends. He probably has to go on to another. He can't go on to another set of mediums. So it's going to be a pit stop. It's going to be interesting to see what he does actually once he actually comes into pit.
Yeah, I mean, the guys behind, he's probably going to fall back behind Sean, maybe even Jake Sorrell as well there if he were to pit now at least. But I presume he'd be going on to some softs, and then we know he's quick. So the comeback will definitely be on once he makes that stop. But we're back to seeing this is regular Sean, isn't it? I think we can agree.
Yeah.
From the back, 12, or not far from the back, P12 to P3. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And with the spin, no less either. I think we would see that gap much closer if we hadn't had the off early on in the race.
Sorry, just on board here at this moment in time with Sean Gregory still, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, Tom Stevens, are you still there, Dan?
I am.
Oh right, I thought I'd lost you there for a minute. I mean, Tom Stevens, I think that was inspired to a degree for him to come in early on off those softs and onto those mediums, because he is going to get the jump on Dylan Platt, isn't he?
He is, yeah. It'll be new territory for the mediums this race at least, because I think the longest we've seen so far is what we're seeing now, 22 laps.
Yeah.
So I think probably he'll be looking to get he's going to the end on these, I think we can say, can't we?
So just looking at, we've got 21 laps remaining. I don't think he's going to be able to take them to 35 laps.
It's going to be a good effort.
I think it's going to be tight. I think the mediums will go mid to high 20s.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 30 laps would probably be the tops on those medium compound tyres. He's looking to do 35 laps. It's certainly achievable, because obviously he'll have the lighter fuel load. But, he's not going to have too big a jump on Dylan Platt. This is the thing. I mean, even with Dylan pits, you're only going to be looking at about a 6 to 7 second gap between them.
Yeah.
So
we presume probably it'll be on the soft.
Well, this is the other thing. I mean, Dylan, I would suspect, will go on to the soft, because I mean, if we've seen 18 laps from the soft, we've got 20 laps remaining. It makes sense that Dylan's going to go on to the softs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm sort of sitting here thinking, was it inspired to come in early or not? It's really difficult to work out at this moment in time.
It's hard, isn't it, to see what he's gonna do. I mean, I think either way, we're on for an epic battle at the end between those two at the top.
I'm pretty confident we're going to see a very close battle between that Alfa Romeo and this Mercedes here of Tom Stevens. I think that's pretty much a given.
Yeah, very exciting prospects for the end of the race.
But the other one I'm watching as well, he's Sean Gregory here and Jamie Goods, because Jamie's on those hard compound tyres. He's only 8.8 seconds off the back of Sean Gregory. Sean Gregory's on 23 lap old mediums. Another 7 laps, he's going to go on to softs, but equally, so can Jamie, and he could potentially get ahead of him. So, what if Sean Gregory comes in, goes on to those softs, Jamie stays out the hards, does the lap, comes in, and looks for an overcut?
Yeah, it's very possible. It's hard to look at it and think, where's everyone going to come out at the end of this? Because there's quite a few strategies at play. There
is. I mean, Adrian Rich there in 5th place. I mean, this has got to be his best race to date, surely, I think, isn't it?
I think absolutely. Running P3, and actually, do you know what? I think it was a comfortable P3 for a little while. Dylan wasn't on the ball at the start of that race, and Adrian caught him napping.
Yeah,
and he held him off for a little while. So impressive stuff. I think it will, resume his confidence, Adrian, in his ability.
Yeah,
because just to say, hey, you can do it, P3, mate, awesome job. And even though he's not there anymore, he stuck there for a little while and showed that he can fight for the top positions. And even P5, not to discount it, bloody good spot on the track.
Well, bloody good spot. I mean, we've still got ultimately 19 laps to go. Anything can happen. You know, we've lost basically half the field through DNFs. Anything can happen ahead of you.
Yeah.
He's still, you know, in for a good shout. He's in good points there, but he's still in for a potential shout as well for, you know, moving uppers. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this pans out, because I think these top 5 guys, as it stands at this moment in time, anything can happen, and it normally does.
Yeah, and as behind, Adrian, you can see Sean Street and Sorrell.
And sorry, Dylan
Platt. His nose in again.
Sorry, Dylan Platt just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Now, I haven't seen any time penalties to Tom. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you can have a quick look on the race director there, Dan, but Dylan Platt's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could very much come into play here.
So, yeah, absolutely. It's towards the end when we think they're going to be closing in on each other. It's not ideal.
Sorry, just going on to Sean Street now, making a move on Jake Sorrell out of Kemmel down into Lecombe. Oh, doesn't quite make it stick, but he's definitely laying down the pressure on Jake Sorrell. We've seen these two guys in previous races battle it out. We've seen Jake Sorrell, obviously, a little bit earlier on in this race, battle it out with Sean Gregory and also with Matt Goodyear, but now he's got Sean Street closing down on him, and these guys, they battle hard as well, these two, when I've seen them.
They do, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1.
It's Cameron Middleton with the McLaren. He's knocked his front wing, I think.
Oh, God.
No, it looks all right. They're just in debris on the track.
Oh, okay.
So he's all right. He's got away with it, but he lost a lot of time.
Well, we are on board at this moment in time with Sean Street in the racing point, closing down on Jake Sorrell in that Ferrari. Look at that straight line speed from that racing point. Wow, that is moving.
On the grass,
gets onto the rough.
But
don't get anything for going onto the rough.
No, as you've seen there, Jake just came back.
Look at this, very tight, very smooth round the bus stop there for Sean Street, though. Nice style. But that straight line speed, now this is where it's going to count. If he's got that straight line speed, what's going to happen here out of Stavlot?
Yeah, I mean, same tyre. And the setup looks like it's favouring those high-speed straights.
Yeah, but is it going to favour him through
yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but I was about to say, good. Look at this, he's coming back, he's going to get the DRS. Look at this. And he's going to make it comfortably before they get to Lecombe, I think.
So
yeah, it does, look at
absolutely.
It. Nicely done there by Sean Street. And yeah, he's definitely got that downforce dialed down, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly has.
Just actually check his ERS, mind you.
Yeah,
he's got the ERS going as well.
As Dylan just shows, he's still in it with a 148.1. Still looking racy.
Sorry, did you get to see if Tom had any
yeah,
penalties?
sorry, I meant to say, no, so he's one warning away. I think another corner cut away from getting the 3 seconds, so he's got all his warnings now.
Oh, look at this wheel-to-wheel action here. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Into 12, coming down towards 14 now.
Yeah, sector 1.
Round Stavlot into the third and final sector. The Ferrari getting a good toe at the moment off that racing point. This is what he's looking for. This is what he's looking for. Can't quite get in there.
Sean
Good
Street
defence from Sean Street there. Great defence there. But look at this, Jake's coming back as they're racing down towards Stavlot now. This is where it counts. Yeah, he's got to slot in behind him, hasn't he? Not much choice there. Pure grunt there of the Ferrari launching it into that first corner, getting his nose ahead.
Meanwhile, they're slowly but surely closing up to the back of Adrian and his Red Bull in front.
Yeah, 3.1 seconds, Jake Sorrell is off. Now, Sean Street doesn't have quite the launch on that DRS of Kemmel to get round Jake Sorrell into Lecombe. But this is a real battle going on here. We've seen some great battling with Jake Sorrell in the midst of it, haven't we, during this race?
Yeah, we have. He's been in every single one I think we've been watching so far.
Yeah. Sean Street trying to close that gap down to him at this moment in time. We are on lap 28 of 44, 16 laps remaining. This is F1 tonight. UK racing every Tuesday evening, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. And we are here for round 13 of this first inaugural season of F1 Tonight UK. And what a race it's been. We've seen some great close racing throughout the field, but particularly as we're watching at this moment, Sean Street and Jake Sorrell. But Jake's already pulled out of nearly a 2-second lead, so he's comfortably in that P6 now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Starting to just he's managed to get away from the grasp of Sean and start to, you know,
right,
get the power down and start to show his pace. So Sean now
in the pits after 27 laps on those medium tyres. He is going onto the soft wall reds as we expected. Jake Sorrell will now get ahead of him, move up into that P5 place. Sean Gregory just coming out behind him. You can see in the background there, now on those soft walled tyres. So Sean Gregory is in P6, Jake Sorrell P5, P4 Adrian Rich, P3 Jamie Good on those hard compound tyres. Look at this, he's up into those top three.
Certainly is, looking very good up there in P3.
Now,
but
what is he going to do?
Him has now pitted, haven't they?
They have, and they're basically on there. I mean, Tom Stevens is the one that we got a question mark against. But I said, you know, he had the potential to get onto that podium, and he has. I mean, okay, he's going to have to come in and pit, but now's the time to open up the valves. If he can open up those valves and maybe come out, say, ideally. Well, he's probably going to come out behind Jake Sorrell if it's going to be close. He wants to come out behind Jake Sorrell, but ideally behind Adrian Rich, doesn't he, if he can? But I think that's a bit too much of a gap to pull out.
It is, yeah. It's a tough one. Whether, like you say, you know, is he going to go for mediums, or wait a bit longer and go for softs? I think his pit window is probably open right about now.
Well, I mean, we are in soft territory. We've got 15 laps remaining.
Yeah.
We saw the softs go to 19. We've got a lesser fuel load than the start of the race. So I think we're in the soft territory. But the question is when did he come in? Because he had a gap, well, it's 5.5 seconds. It was 8 seconds, I think, on the previous lap that he had to Adrian Rich. So either he had a bad lap or he's starting to lose time. And this is where he's got to now make that decision, because he's at the point where he could actually stand to lose more than he could to gain, couldn't he?
That's it, yeah. You've got to be quick to make that choice, because it can get away from you very fast if you don't make that choice and change
the other
tyres.
thing to bear in mind here as well, I mean, we talk about strategy, obviously it does.
Adrian's out.
No! Adrian's gone out!
Oh.
Where is this? And it was on, it's on Radion, on the exit of Radion. There he is on the left-hand side. He tried to correct, but went into the barrier. Oh, what a crying shame. Adrian Rich, for Red Bull, is out. And I suspect probably the last victim of the race, hopefully.
Well, we hope so, but, you know, it's catching everyone out at the moment.
Yeah, and it always does, to be fair. It always catches a number of drivers out.
Yeah, it's such a tricky corner to get right on old tyres, especially, but just in general.
Well, Dylan Platt has come in. He's gone onto those soft compound tyres, and he is 1.3 seconds off the back of Tom Stevens.
He is. He made that short work of that, didn't he? Well, he's 3 seconds a couple of laps ago, and now we're right on the back of him.
Now, this is the thing now. He's on a lovely fresh set of soft tyres. Tom Stevens now, as I said, did he make an inspired choice or was it the wrong choice? And right now, I've got to say, it looks like he made the wrong choice on going onto those mediums so early, didn't he?
It does a little bit. I mean, don't forget, Dylan's got the 3 second penalty.
He has.
So he's still got to put out the gap.
But look, he's 8 tenths off the back of him. He's going to get past him. They're 21 lap old mediums. As good as Tom is, he's going to have to defend pretty damn well for 14 laps if he thinks he can keep Dylan behind him.
Yeah, exactly. And then to keep with him as well on the medium versus soft, which we can see Dylan's doing pretty well on at the moment.
Jamie Good just did a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah.
Not too much there.
Sean Gregory getting
52 seconds off the back of these guys, yeah. But this is going to be interesting because these guys are definitely battling it out here. Oh, look at this. He's right there on the tail. Tom Stevens. High octane air being taken in here by Dylan Platt.
Yeah. Getting the DRS now. Start finish straight.
Now this is going to be the one. I think we're going to see these guys side by side through Eau Rouge and Radion. Oh, he did go very deep there, but look at that. Dylan backs off though.
Yeah, I think Dylan let him have it.
He did. Now,
fair enough.
Yeah.
That pace advantage. Look at the speed of that Alfa Romeo.
Now, is he going to get him on this Camel straight? He should do quite easily.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah. Tom defending there as best as he can. Oh, look at this! Wheel to wheel, there's contact! Oh! There's contact, and Tom Stevens has spun out! Oh my goodness me, Tom Stevens has spun out! Oh, dearie man, look at that, front wing damage. He's lost the front left. He's lost the end plate and the winglets. He's going to have to come in. Now, this is going to be...
What does this mean for Jamie Good? I mean, he's just starting the lap. Tom Stevens has got a whole lap now with the damage. And he's got a pit. Could we see Jamie as high as second?
Well, this is going to have to be damage defence now from Tom Stevens. He's got to try and get round as best he can to try and get into those pits because this is going to cost him dearly. Jake Sorrell just makes the move.
Sean Gregory both flying
Sean Gregory, both of them. Look at this, they're coming through Leclerc. Sean Gregory got, contact! Contact, end plate gone off the Ferrari. Jake Sorrell there on the left-hand side.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, sorry, I've still got Tom Stevens up there. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit caught out there. Yep, Sean Gregory gets through. He's up into P3. Jake Sorrell is in fourth, but he's got Jamie Good battling through. And this is what I was saying about Jamie. You know, he was going to come under attack. He's losing too much time on those hardwall tyres. And now, this is where it's cost him. He should have come in really. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but he should have come in about, a lap, 2 laps ago, really, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he needs to, and he's got to do it this lap. Just get it out of the way, get the fresher rubber on, and.
Well, the thing is, I know what Jamie's trying to do here. Jamie's trying to get desperately ahead of Jake Sorrell because they're both going to have to pit. So he wants to get the jump on him into the pits. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, in fairness, Jake's going to be in there longer than him. He's got to change tyres and the wing. I don't think Jamie's got to do that. So he's going to get front end damage.
No, there is no front end damage on that.
Oh, the Red Bull. No, you're right. Yeah, he's got a right end plate off.
Has he? Yeah. Oh, yes, he has. Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So yeah, they're both going to be.
But Jake Sorrell stayed out.
Jake's staying out.
Jake stayed out. Oh, I'm amazed by that.
I mean, it's not the worst damage you can get. It's drivable.
It's drivable, but he's going to lose too much time. They're too close.
Yeah.
Tony Foster moves up into 5th as he makes the move on Jamie Good in the pits, obviously. So Tony Foster up into 5th. Jake Sorrell in the second Ferrari is 4th. Sean Gregory in the Toro Rosso is now 3rd.
Yeah. I'm looking like that's probably where he's going to end up, I think.
I think it is.
Obviously, Jake with the damage now. That's not going to help him out.
No, Jamie's coming out in P8. I mean, he is in the points, obviously. That's something, but yeah, that could have been inspired, those hard tyres, and it was working for him, but he just went a little bit too deep with them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It's such a hard call to make.
Well, this is what I was going to make reference to earlier, before
hindsight's...
before we saw the action happening earlier. I was going to say this earlier. This is the thing. We sit here and we talk about strategy, we talk about tyres, we talk about tyre management, when they come in. But this is all down to the individual sim driver. He doesn't have a team behind him. He's got a pseudo team.
Yeah.
With Jeff.
On that band.
Yeah, with Jeff. But ultimately, it's your call. So you've got to make all these calls, and you've got to make them quite often on the fly as well, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So, it definitely adds to the stress. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, effectively team principal and driver in that car.
Yeah.
Got to run it all.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where it really does get somewhat difficult. So Sean Gregory's up in that P3. Tom Stevens, though, in P2. He's now 36 seconds behind. This is damage, well, I say limitation. I said management, but it's limitation, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know about you. For me, it looked like that was probably a bit self-inflicted. I think he just ran the car a little bit
pushing.
wider,
They were both pushing. It wasn't definitely. I wouldn't say it was, X or Y's fault. They were both pushing, and sometimes, as we said, when you push, you just push that little bit too hard. And this is what I was saying earlier on. I mean, Tom has set himself a target, but this is the thing: you've got to push, but you've also got to know when not to push. If you know what I mean. But it's easier said than done. We're in that cockpit. You're in that race. You've got the confidence. The red mist comes down. You just want to get past that guy. It doesn't matter about anything else.
Tom just getting his 3-second penalty there.
Yeah, got it there.
A bit wide out of 14.
But I've got to say, sublime racing from Dylan Platt, really.
Yeah, he's done a very good job tonight.
He really has. I mean, fair play. I mean, Tom has done a fantastic race. As I say, I think, as I said, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but he just came in that bit too early off those softs at the beginning of the race, didn't he? I don't know if he had any issues. Maybe he did, but he came in, was it lap 7, 8?
Yeah, it was 7, 8 or 9 around there. Early doors anyway, for sure. And as we saw, he could have maybe made that go 1 or 2 extra laps, maybe even more, and still be ahead of Dylan when he goes into the pits. And
he could have doubled that. I mean, his teammate didn't come in, I think, until the end of 18.
Yeah.
So he could have doubled it. But, I mean, obviously, there was a reason for that. Not too sure what that was yet. But Dylan Platt now has got a comfortable lead, hasn't he? 35 seconds.
Yeah,
he's looking good.
Cozy up the front there as Jake Sorrell comes in again, I think for his new wing now.
Yeah, now Jake Sorrell's coming, but Jamie Good, look, he's got out ahead of him.
Yeah, P6.
This is what I was saying.
I don't know what his gap with Sean is, but 6 seconds, not impossible.
Jake's just coming out of the pits now, so 5.6 seconds off the back of Jamie Good.
Yeah. Ryan Lear coming in for another pit stop as well.
He's had a few pit stops, Ryan.
He has had a few, yeah. He's had 2. Well, it's only 2.
He's had 2.
I think this is his third now, isn't it?
This is his third now, yeah. He's had 2 pit stops. So, and he's got a penalty to serve as well, by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah.
Nose change there for Ryan Lear. So Ryan Lear there in the Sauber, just coming out of the pits. He is in that P8 position. In P7, we have Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari. He had to come in, get that damage repaired on that front wing. He was in a battle there with Jamie Good, but it's easy to call. Should have come in. He might have stood a better chance had he come in at the same time as Jamie Good. But Jake Sorrell now in that P7 place. 6.4 seconds off the back of Jamie Good. So fresh tyres, nice red wall tyres. I mean, it's certainly possible to close down that gap. He could still be challenging Jamie at the end of this race, couldn't he?
Yeah, definitely not out of the question. Try and get faster than that perhaps whilst he's at it.
Yeah, extra point obviously given for anyone who achieves the fastest lap of the race. Jamie Good is in that P6 place. He is in the Red Bull, but that was because he came in late, couldn't jump in his car. He does races for Racing Point, so points will be accrued to Racing Point at the end of this race. And he's driven a great race, hasn't he? And really good driving, fighting all the way through. He can be happy with the race he's driven, I think, can't he?
Yeah. From my point of view, at least anyway when I was racing, just being part of a battle during the race. Fighting position, a bit of excitement. That does it. Doesn't matter where you finish, you've had a bit of fun. But he's got the benefit of both worlds. He's had a good fight and he's come out P6.
Yeah, well,
so Really nice drive for him so far.
He's done well. I mean, he started on those hard wall tyres, moved up 8 places very early on doors, started in P18, went up to 10, stayed around 10, and then we were sort of watching and saying, well, he's pretty much stayed there, isn't he? But we could see by those hard compound tyres it was going to move him up. I certainly said top 5. And I've got to say, I think he's still looking... I don't know, he's 5.6 seconds off the back of Sean Street. Sean Street is fast. But, yeah, it certainly worked for him. 12 places from 18 to 6. So we'll see how that pans out. This is now a race to the... This is now sprinting all the way to the finish, isn't it?
This is it, yeah, exactly. They've had their marathon. They've done the... They've stretched it out the last couple of laps now. They can just let loose and sprint to the finish, like you say.
Yeah. He's got Sean Street, who we're on board with now, 5.7 seconds. But Sean's opened up the valves as well, by the looks of it. He's 2.2 seconds off the back of Tony Foster. So Sean Street in that P5 place. He's moved up 5 places, started in P10. Good run from him. But I've got to say, Tony Foster he's going to be happy with this race now, isn't he? Look at that.
Yeah, P4.
P4. Okay, he's going to be under pressure from Sean Street on a fresher set of red wall soft tyres very soon. Even if he takes P5, that's a damn good result and good points there for Tony Foster. I mean, he's in every race. I think he's finished every... I think bar one, I think there's only one race he DNF'd at. He's finished every race.
Two he's not finished.
Oh, right, okay.
And yeah, but 2 out of 12, it's good going.
Yeah, it is good going. Always accruing points, and obviously tonight, potential for accruing double-digit points.
Yeah, 10 points in the last 3 races from Tony Foster, so he'll get more than that in this race if he keeps up.
Yeah,
and he'll get exactly that, even if he comes P5. So
yeah,
really nice stuff from him. Good to see him up in the top.
Yeah, definitely great race from him. I think he's going to very much have enjoyed this race and enjoy obviously the outcome of it. Sean Gregory, well, what can one say about Sean Gregory? He's a fighter, isn't he? He loves having a good scrap.
Yeah, exactly that really. He loves coming, he loves starting from the back of the grids, or down the back, and working his way up on a different strategy to the rest of the grid normally. And as you can see, it's worked as planned. I would have thought today, P3, comfortably P3 as well. After we mentioned that spin a couple of times, but yeah, he had a spin, and he still managed to get it back to P3.
Well, the thing is, he had a spin, but he didn't take himself out. That's the important thing.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's it. And not physically, but mentally as well. That takes himself out, because you get angry, and it's just the same thing will happen again. You'll accelerate too hard out of a corner because you're trying to get back. You're frustrated.
Yeah.
You lose it again, and he's kept cool and managed to keep the car going all the way back to the podium positions. Sean there takes P4. Tony.
Oh, has Sean Street made the move, has he?
He has. Up he goes.
Yeah, so gets ahead, but no great surprise. We were expecting that anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he's on a fresh set of red wall tyres. Tony obviously taking those mediums to the end there, but as you say, still double-digit points, 10 points there for Tony. But Sean Street looking strong, as he has done all this race. Got to say, he's really done well. Up 6 places, started in P10. Sean Gregory, who we were just on, started in P12, so up 9 places for him. So again, both those drivers I think are going to be very happy with the race they've achieved. Tom Stevens in the Mercedes, leading this race for such a long way, and then sort of came in. Well, he was leading the early part, then he came in, went onto those medium tyres, dropped back the field. I was thinking at the time, yeah, it's an inspired move, get the undercut early on Dylan Platt, but it didn't quite work that way, did it?
No, it was inspired, like you say, and I think it had potential to be great. And you know what? I think without that contact, it probably could have been.
Yeah.
I think although he did fall behind, then instead of that 3 seconds he had to pull out on him.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt Tom would be able to keep in the toe of that Alfa Romeo and keep glued to that gearbox for a little bit longer. And I think it would have been close at the end. So it wasn't terrible, but I think, like you say, a couple of laps later, and it would have been a very different story.
Yeah, I do tend to agree with you that I think it could have been very, very different. I think it was a brave move. It just didn't work, unfortunately, for him this evening. He was under pressure because he was saying, obviously, he's going to have to take these yellows to the end. Obviously, he was on the yellows then. Subsequently to that, obviously, he had the damage when he was challenging Dylan through Lecombe, and it just didn't work for him. Came in, went on to a fresh set of reds, so he's looking to get the fastest lap, I would suspect now. That's what his target is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the moment, he is.
I think he is, actually. I think he got it on the previous one.
Yeah, he is a 45.8.
Yeah.
So, 1,000th of a second faster than Dylan's.
Jeez.
Very close.
Very, very close. But Dylan Platt, well, what can I say? Cool customer.
Absolutely.
This boy is as cool as a cucumber that's been in your fridge for 48 hours.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good to me. But yeah, what can you say?
Sublime. Again, you know, he just doesn't seem to get phased, this lad, does he?
No, I mean, you know, not a far from brilliant race last time out in Hungary. Not the best of starts. I think he went as low as P5, but just like that, he was on the back of Adrian again, P4, and then shortly after P3 was his, and you know, as they say, the rest is history really after that.
But I mean, as I said, I mean, you know, before we went out, obviously they had a free choice on the tyres because they were on intermediates during the queues, and I said, you know, I really think that Dylan's going to go onto those mediums because that seems to be his modus operandi, doesn't it? And
yeah, he loves the harder tyre.
And it did cost him for the start, but he stayed with those leaders. And he knew the window he had to stay within, and he stayed within it.
Yeah.
Made it work for him. Came in, went on those softs, and then as soon as he was on the softs, he just opened up those valves. All of a sudden, he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And then you know, he had the calls. Obviously, he had the crash, unfortunately, from Callum.
Yeah.
And then the call to pit early from Tom, and that kind of opened it up for him, and just pulled away from there.
But great race from Dylan Platt. Obviously did start in that P1, but as we've touched on there, he lost it immediately in the first lap, dropped down to P5, but stayed with the guys, stuck to he stuck to his strategy. This is the other thing as well. He had a strategy planned out, and he has stuck to it. I don't think he's deviated from his planned strategy at all.
No, I think you're right. He had it planned from the beginning, and it's paid off.
So has really worked well for him. So we have 4 laps remaining now. We started with a field of 18 drivers. From those 18, we are down to 8. We have lost over 50% of the field here. And you may be sitting there thinking, oh, that's a lot. I challenge you right here, right now, to get on your game when this finishes and do 44 laps of Spa without crashing.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a challenging track, and it has always takes, let's say, it's sim victims. And, Dylan Platt coming into the pits. Now, this is, well, he's got a free pit, hasn't he?
I think he must be going for the fastest lap. Sean
He's
Gregory's
got a
done the
free
same thing. So he's now just come out ahead of Sean Street just by a couple of seconds. Wow. Interestingly, Jamie Good, half a second behind Tony Foster, looking for P5 at the moment from dead last.
Yeah, he is. He's challenging there, Tony Foster. Tom Stevens just coming down to the bus stop now. Dylan Platt coming out of the pits. So he's still going to have a decent lead on Tom. We'll see what that difference is once Tom crosses the line. I suspect it's going to be around about 8 to 10 seconds.
28 at the moment.
Oh, 28? 16. Oh, here we go. 16. Okay, a bit more than I was expecting there, but still, wow. That's,
Yeah. I think
16. He was 26 ahead. How does that work? 10 seconds?
Well, that's Dylan, isn't it? Okay. He's quick, so is the pit stop.
Yeah, it must be. That's bizarre, that. Okay, so Dylan Platt is out now on a fresh set of red wall tyres. He is definitely looking to get maximum points out of this round 13 here for season 1 for F1 Tonight UK. Get that extra point. 26 points. That will certainly send a very strong message to Mr. Stevens in the Mercedes there, won't it?
It will, yeah. Yeah, he's no slouch, is Dylan, and he's proved that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So 4 laps effectively remaining of this race. Let's go have a look at these guys. As I said, 18 down to 8. Ryan Lear in the Alfa Romeo is P8. And, well, he is in the points, isn't he, to be fair? He's going to be picking up some championship points. He's going to be 4 points there for Mr. Lear.
And for Alfa Romeo as a team, just to help boost their constructors.
Oh, absolutely,
performance at the moment as
they
well.
Don't need any more. Then we got Jake Sorrell.
Now, won't they?
Yeah, it's got to be. Oh, yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, Jake Sorrell in the Ferrari is in P7, so he will take 6 points as long as he maintains that till the end of this race. Tony Foster, his teammate, is in P6. And he might drop down to P7, I don't know. I don't think so, hopefully not. He's in P6 at this moment in time. Great race from Tony Foster. He's going to be picking up 8 points as it stands for that P6 position. Jamie Good. Well, Jamie, as we said, he's racing in the Red Bull team. He does race with Racing Point, just a little bit of a nuance. Couldn't get in his car as he was late, missed the qualification. Started at the back of the grid. But he's done well. He's got up into that P5 place, which is more or less where I was thinking he would be. So, yay! I got that one right. So, Jamie Good will be in P5. He'll be picking up double digits, 10 points there. Then we have his teammate, Sean Street. Good day for Racing Point. Racing Point. Sean Street in 4th. He'll be picking up 12 points. 22 points for the team there. That's not a bad result, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. And Sean carrying on that streak from last time out. 4th place in Hungary, 4th place again today so far. So
yeah, good.
Very nice run of form at the moment.
I think this is going to be a man to watch as the seasons roll forward. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But a number of others as well. Sean Gregory started in P12, got up to P3 on the podium again.
Yeah.
He's making a bit of a habit of this, isn't he?
He is. Well, I mean, like we said a couple of times this race, this is his element, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dry track. I think it's fair to say the wet didn't help him out last time out.
No.
Dry this time round though, and standard procedure, off he goes, and P3 is where he is.
Yeah, nice result for him. He'll be picking up 15 championship points for that P3 position. Then we have Tom Stevens in the Mercedes. He's in P2. He's just lost out on the fastest lap to Dylan Platt. So that extra point, he's going to have to fight for it now in his final 2 laps, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Yeah, I think Sean Gregory got it before, and then Dylan's got it now. And no doubt Tom will be pushing for it, but 9-lap old softs, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, 144.0, I think is what Dylan just set. So, yeah, he's got. I mean, if anyone can, Tom can, I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it's got about 3/10 to get to that.
But I mean, it has been an amazing race, hasn't it? But look at this, it's now 37 seconds is the gap to Dylan Platt.
Yeah.
Sorry, but am I going mad? But I swear to God, 2 laps ago, that was 16 seconds. So has Tom spun out somewhere? He must have done.
I don't know if he stopped.
Oh, he's come in.
Stopped again.
He's come in. He's gone into another set. Yeah, he must. Yeah, it's it. He's come in. He's come in and gone on to another set.
Yeah, 3rd stop. Yeah, that'll be it then.
So he's gone on to a fresh set of softs as well, because he had a big enough gap to Sean Gregory. Sean Gregory came in as well. So they've all gone on to a fresh set of softs, basically. They've resigned themselves to the fact that they are where they are. Also. And they're just going for the fastest laps, these guys.
It's Jake Sorrell also pitting and just coming back out now.
On the final lap?
Yeah. He's not going to get as fast as that now.
He's not going to get a fastest lap on that.
Fair play if he does, though. Drinks on me.
Well, if he does, yeah, definitely. It'd be more than a pint, that's for sure.
Pint of water for you, Eddie.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So, Tom Stevens now coming around the penultimate turn, effectively. We've got the bus stop here. I'm counting it as 1, 18, 19. Starting his final lap.
Oh, he's going for that fastest one.
He is. Look at that. He's winding himself up there. Look at that. That is Tom saying, right, I'm getting this. This is going to be the one. Yeah, definitely. But let's get on now to our race leader. And barring incident, our race winner, Dylan Platt, on his final lap here. Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, because I've got my the lap data up to see what his sectors are like. He's gone just under 2/10 faster in sector 1. As it stands, a yellow flag in sector 3. Not quite sure who that. I think that was Ryan Lear. Sector 3 there. Jake Sorrell comes round the outside. He'll be finishing the race here, I believe. Potentially a lap down.
Okay, so...
Nope, still in it, still going. But Dylan Platt...
Oh, and he crosses the line!
Crosses the line!
Takes the win there. Dylan Platt. Fantastic run from him. Gotta say, Tom Stevens will come in across. I don't know if you want to check. No. What? What? Oh, he spun it!
Oh!
He spun it!
He just pushed it a bit too hard. Sean's.
Oh, dearie me!
Don't worry about him, but yeah.
Oh, he spun it as he was coming out of 14 before he got into Stavlot.
Yeah. Oh, shame. He was up as well. I don't know if he would have done it. He was about 2/10 up, which wasn't quite enough, but...
Oh, dearie me. What a shame there. I was just about to say that, Tom Stevens, but he comes across, he'll still be taking second place. I don't know if you want to check your broadcaster app there on the Discord while we have a look at that.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, I was just having a look on here and we're waiting for the guys to come across now. So Tom Stevens finished his second, Sean Gregory finished his third. And what a great race there from Sean Gregory, I have to say. Fantastic race from him, finishing in that third place. Fourth is Sean Street. Fifth, Jamie Good. Sixth, Tony Foster. 7 is Jake Sorrell. And 8 is Ryan Lear.
Fantastic stuff.
Oh, mate, that was just unbelievable. I've got to say, though, I'm looking on here, and I don't know if you're looking on the app now.
I am, yeah.
I'm thinking this.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's 2 against 1, isn't it?
What have you got? What have you put?
Just above.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. Right, we'll get the guys on the podium. Yeah. If you want to get the podium guys in on the chat there while we run through the podium. So there we have it. Dylan Platt takes the win here at Spa Francorchamps. Second is Tom Stevens. And third is Sean Gregory. I've got to say, Sean sporting a wonderful flag there. I'm quite impressed. I'm going to have to get him, actually, if you get him in on the chat, I'm going to have to ask him what that is all about.
Dylan's here.
Yeah.
So hello, Dylan is here. Okay, so...
Hello.
Sean is here. Hello.
Right. So, 19. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'll go with that, Dan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Copy that.
Yeah, 1 stop. I think that was a brave move.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The distance covered.
Definitely. Okay, so we'll announce that at the end. Have we got all 3 guys in?
Just waiting on Tom, I think.
Okay. So
I don't think he's going to be up.
Is he not?
I don't know.
He's unavailable, I'm getting.
Is he? Okay. Well, if he's got the invite, he can always come in. Dan, if you want to take it away, sir.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, boys, thank you for joining us. And congratulations, Dylan, firstly, mate. Epic drive. Back on form after Hungary. Not so good, but yeah, usual fashion resumed, I think, today. Obviously, the start was a bit was a bit dodgy. I presume that was probably down to your tyre choice with the medium not being as grippy as the softs around you. Was that right, or was there a bit of a? Did he not get off the 9 quite as well as the other guys?
Yeah, obviously tyres played a part in it, but recently I've not been getting very good starts. Losing places off the line.
Yeah, it's tricky to do. I find that the starts are hard to get, or at least to get done well. It's not easy. But made the tyre strategy paid off. Was that your plan all along to do the one-stop medium onto the softs?
Yeah. Well, when I saw Tom go onto the softs, I wanted to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Be faster at the end.
Yeah. Absolutely, good stuff. And lastly for you, mate, the bit of contact at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Any thoughts or anything you want to say on that? I think it looked a bit like it was just a racing incident, really. I think it took, from our point of view, at least from mine, like Tom just ran maybe a tad deep and caught you. But did it look any different from your end?
To be honest, I wasn't paying much attention to the contact. Yeah. All I saw is spun. So what I'll do later is watch it back and, Yeah, it was an ideal. Shame. I think they could have been. I know obviously had the 3-second penalty, so Tom was still in with a run for first potentially if he could just stick with you. But I think, as we saw at the end, you ran away with it once you got in front. And epic drive, mate. Well done. Thank you. And Sean, mate, congratulations. Woo-hoo. P3, 12th to 3rd, mate. Back on your usual form. I was saying to Eddie, Hungary, I don't think, at least from what we could see, I don't think the wet's really suited. Because normally it's a strategy that pays into your race. Is everyone else kind of pits a bit earlier, you go the long way, and that pays off. And that's what we saw again today. It's worked out well for you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like you said, Hungary, it just obviously just intermediate tire and wet. There's not much I can do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But with a soft tire, I can push further than some of the guy in front of us, and obviously capitalize the mistake that other people were doing, and then gain the position. Yeah, it was fun.
Awesome stuff. And I know you had round, I think it was Pooh. You had the spin early doors and lost, I think, maybe 1 or 2 places. I mean,
is that the one after the corner?
The long left. Yeah.
I was hoping you guys didn't see it.
No, we saw it.
No. Yeah, I dropped it in the curve. Hit the curve. I mean, I've been practicing in that corner like flat out, like for a couple of hours, and it was perfect. And then come to the race day and just dropped it in. Yeah. Being too greedy.
I mean, mate, well, it's even more. It does you more favours really for your performance today. Being able to come out from that and not bottle it anymore.
Yeah,
I know. Me personally, I'd be fuming and then probably shove it off the track afterwards. So even better job for you to come back from that and take 3rd, mate. Well done to you as well.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, I just want to jump in there. I mean, great race from all you guys, and it's interesting. I'm just having a look here on the championship standings. This is an exact reflection, the podium, of how the championship standings are at the moment. Because Dylan, you're leading the way. Tom is in 2nd, and Sean, you're 3rd.
Woohoo!
So exact reflection on the actual championship standings. A couple of questions. I'll start with Sean, if that's okay. Sean, 2 questions for you. Obviously, you've come into the league and you've been pretty much getting on that podium 9 out of 10 times. How are you enjoying it? And what is it that's, making it sort of, it's race day for you?
I don't know. I think it's just the whole, everyone, to be honest, it's everyone that makes the league great and they make me want to turn up and enjoy myself. And obviously I felt like I'm the top of my game. And that's all I can say, really.
Brilliant. Well, that's a good enough answer. I wouldn't expect anything less. And the second one is the flag you're sporting. So I've got to say, it's a beautiful flag.
Oh, I know, right?
Speaking as a fellow countryman, I'd like to see that flag in the real world on the podium of F1.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? That'll be good.
That's a nice touch, mate. I like that. I'm very happy with that.
One day I'll be top step of the podium.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. It's a crummy anthem, though, I've got to say. Right, so that's sure. Dylan, I mean, last week, obviously, Hungary didn't quite go, to to plan, but not so bad. Let's put it like that. Tom obviously giving the shout out last week that he's looking to go for the championship. He's not going to let up. That is his goal. And today, you delivered the goods, didn't you? I mean, are you rising to the occasion here? You can see that Tom's looking to challenge you, and he's obviously a competent challenger, and you're just taking that step a little bit further, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not the first time me and Tom have gone head to head for a championship. Last time he came out first, so hopefully I can make it even this time.
Well, that's good, and that's obviously what you're going to be aiming for. Next week, we're at Monza. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. It's one of my strongest tracks in the calendar. I enjoy it.
One of my strong as well.
Same again next week, boys.
This sounds like it's going to be good. Well, gentlemen, all I can say is fantastic race. Great viewing, you're great racers, great drivers, and, congratulations to all three of you and indeed to the whole field as well. Absolutely. As we've touched on there, next week, same time, same day, Tuesday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. We will be in Italy, alla bella Italia, for the Monza Grand Prix. Starting, as I said, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. That's next Tuesday. But before we go, Dan, you have an announcement to make, sir.
I do. The driver of the day tonight, I think, well deserving, Mr. Jamie Goods. Yeah, obviously not in the right car tonight, but sporting for Racing Point, of course. Fantastic job. I think we can all probably agree on, from back of the grid to 18. A very impressive fifth.
Yeah, that was a great race, and a great race from the Racing Point team, Sean Street as well, putting in a fantastic performance. Getting that P4 position. He will, I'm sure, get on the podium at some point. Once these guys here let up, he might get a chance to get on that podium. But yes, that's going to be good. So next week, Monza. This Thursday, however, we will be at Monza with the F1 Tonight Netherlands League. So Thursday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time, we will be at Monza for Season 6. Round 14 of the Netherlands F1 Tonight League. So join us then. I will be co-commentating with my esteemed colleague Adrian Rich of Red Bull fame. I'm sure he'll finish the race soon. He was doing so well as well. I bet he's going to be gutted.
Under pressure.
Yeah, gutted. So join us this Thursday, and next Tuesday, obviously, we will be at Monza with the F1 Tonight UK guys. So it just leaves me to say good night to everyone from me.
And another good night and a huzzah from me.
Good night, everyone. See you soon.